Yeah, no love from me. Yeah, I can't show nobody fake love, cause I've been in my bag lately, getting cash, baby. So don't you act like you been here from day one. Graduated from a simp, turned into a big boss. Now she see me getting rich, cause I'm about to take off. Yeah, my life is like a movie, this is only take one. Yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love. Where the love go? I don't know, but I need something that's for real. She just want designer, red bottoms in the hills, California. She just want the limelight, gold digger. She gon' see me when the time's right. Heard that little boy was trying to play me. Heard he talking crazy, now he coming to congratulate the kid. I think it's funny how they try to hide the hate and be the first to smile up in your face and show you all this fake love. I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where they go? Where the love go? I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where they go? I can't show no love, can't show no love. No love from me. Yeah, I can't show nobody fake love, cause I've been in my bag lately, getting cash, baby. So don't you act like you been here from day one. Graduated from a simp, turned into a big boss. Now she see me getting rich, cause I'm about to take off. Yeah, my life is like a movie, this is only take one. Yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love. Where the love go? Tell me where the love went. She don't care unless it benefits her budget, and I can tell she only in it for the gold. She gon' have to learn to get it on her own. Tell me why the boy was talking on me like he was sweet, then turn around and try to doubt me when we up in the street. I can't show no love for a hater, a traitor. Showing fake love, see you later. I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where they go? Where the love go? I can't stand the fake love. Where the love go? Where they go? I can't show no love, can't show no love. No love from me. Yeah, I can't show nobody fake love, cause I've been in my bag lately, getting cash, baby. So don't you act like you been here from day one. Graduated from a simp, turned into a big boss. Now she see me getting rich, cause I'm about to take off. Yeah, my life is like a movie, this is only take one. Yeah, and I ain't got no time for no one with fake love.
Shout out to my brother and that cool, ayy, ayy. I got 2 damn phones, call me Kevin Gates. Get these bands, lock them up, put them in a race. Don't need no safe, we get all our feelings change. Don't feel the same, no, I don't wanna feel this way. I can't escape, you know, no. My heart is racing, no, no. You took my place and I can't take it back, no, take it back. My heart breaks when you call my phone, why can't you just leave me alone? I can't escape the way you made me feel, ayy. My heart breaks when you call my phone, why can't you just leave me alone? I can't escape the way you made me feel, ayy.
All the eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah, yeah. DJs, if you want one there, you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer, yeah. Yeah, little shawty, always so like why you tryna stop me, yeah? Hey, nobody finna come and body me. I know what you want, but you wake and knock on top me, what? Yeah, I got a check, I'm finna cop Balenciagas. Yeah, I'm living with no stress, I don't gotta carry choppers. Purple Corvette, now I'm riding with your daughter. Gucci camo vest, quit the plotting, I'ma stop you. Yeah, I've been riding with a gang, I've been strapped up with a thing, I've been rolling with the same shawty. Hey, I ain't capping every lane, ain't nobody stop my game, shawty. Wanna make it rain with me. Yes, out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah, yeah. Choice. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shawty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer, yeah.
I gotta watch my back, probably pack my bag. You're like a computer crash, baby. I was wrong, so she left me. Now I'm down on my left knee, but I'm gone in a jet speed. Get around like a 10-speed. I gotta watch my back, probably pack my bags. You're like a computer crash, baby. Well, maybe it's not that bad. Pretend like I'm not that sad. She only know how to make me mad. You don't know a damn thing. 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 Baby, that's a damn shame. 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 I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that. You just hold me back and it makes me mad. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that. You just hold me back and it makes me mad. I gotta watch my back, probably pack my bags. You're like a computer crash, baby. Well, maybe it's not that bad. Pretend like I'm not that sad. She only know how to make me mad. I bet she does it with ease. I bet she does it to tease. Somehow she got in my dreams. I'm a nightmare. This ain't how I used to see. I guess it wasn't to be. Not everything's what it seems. Making that clear. I think I saw the devil in her eyes. I sink, I fall. This happens every time. Go ahead and call upon another guy. This is way too much for me. The demons keep her company. I gotta watch my back, probably pack my bags. You're like a computer crash, baby. Well, maybe it's not that bad. Pretend like I'm not that sad. She only know how to make me mad. Distorted my reality. So I gotta leave my feelings on a shelf right now, while I work for better wealth and pray for better health. Been drowning in my thoughts, distorted reality. All these evil thoughts distort my reality. I'ma sing away the pain and trying to kill the devil away, so he won't live to see another day. He won't be in my way anymore. Not anymore. Detached right now from reality. All I see
torn apart. But I can't be consumed by the dark. So I gotta leave my feelings on a shelf right now, while I work for better wealth and pray for better health. Been drowning in my thoughts, distorted reality. All these evil thoughts distort my reality. I'ma sing away the pain and trying to kill the devil away. Zoned out right now in a different world, in a cold world. So sorry if I cannot talk. I'm trying to make it out, but I can barely walk. I feel it lacking on over me like a hawk. The darkness, and yeah, it talks to me through the evil thoughts in my mind. Been feeling torn apart. But I can't be consumed by the dark. So I gotta leave my feelings on a shelf right now, while I work for better wealth and pray for better health. Been drowning in my thoughts, distorted reality. All these evil thoughts distort my reality. I'ma sing away the pain and trying to kill the devil away.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the RSC Season 12. My name is Vector. Alongside me once again, for the second time in a row, it is the beautiful Cynics. We are back again with league play for this season. We are in the fourth week, just on the precipice of the halfway point of the regular season, and we've got some brilliant matches for you tonight. We'll be starting in the Prospect Division, up into Elite, and then eventually on to Challenger. I'm only going to be here for this first one. Cynics, you're here with, I think it's Kingsman Gas for the next one as well, so hopefully we can light up the booth once again to get some excitement for this Prospect matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm eager to see what these Prospect players can do. It's going to be super interesting to see what level they are at. I've not watched that many Prospect games this season. It's going to be interesting to see where are the players at in the skill level, what is working in the Prospect here right now. From my experience, I feel like the most consistent team is usually a little bit better in Prospect, but it's going to be interesting to see what team can come up on top in this series.
Well, consistency seems to be the name of the game for these two teams, as Alter and Fearless Echo face each other down on the field. They're a little disparate in the table, in their positioning. Alter are 12-12, an 8th position, and Fearless Echo up in 4th in 14-14. So only two games apart, but they're actually 4 positions apart, which is kind of crazy considering how close Prospect Division already is. They currently reside in 8th after picking up their first win last week. Alter a sweep over their closely placed rivals Primordial. So despite a rough start to the campaign, there does appear to still be some life left in this particular sanctuary, but there's an equally buoyant opponent facing them on the field tonight. As much more healthily positioned, Fearless Echo sit pretty in 4th with an ambitious eye glaring up towards the top of the table. Another sweep would take them there, only provisionally though, as all 3 teams above them are yet to play either of their matches. So with both sides brandishing their brooms, Cynics, would you believe to be the more likely in brushing the other aside?
I can only say that I know most of the players in one team, and that is for Alter, I believe. Showing up with the Crescent and All-Sound, I recognize those names from before. I played with them outside of Rocket League as well, so I know they're nice lads. So they're gonna be my bet tonight, as I'm not that into the prospect here as a whole. So it's gonna be interesting to see who comes out on top though.
It will be, as Ulta have just played a series in the RSC Cup, or as I like to call it, the Confederation Cup, against Eclipse, one of the stronger challenger teams we've seen this season. So we don't yet know the result of that matchup, but it's probably safe to say that whichever way it fell, there will have been some mental or like psychological effect that may bleed into this fixture, threatening to alter the outcome, though in what way only time will tell. So maybe based on that, if Ulta did win that series against a tough challenger team and whole tier above them, they might have a significant advantage going into this one. It will G them up, or it will be so much worse for them because they're just coming off a loss, and we'll just have to see whether or not they struggle with that, and whether or not Fearless Echo have been keeping up their ability, keeping sharp after that sweep against their opponents just earlier this week, I believe it was. Ulta were in 6th with 15 points this time last season. Fearless Echo were in 3rd with 21, so both sides are performing slightly worse than their previous rosters bearing this name. Though it should Ulta pull off what would appear to be an upset here, they still have the chance to match or even improve upon that record. So keep an eye out for this matchup. It could be a very interesting one. We do have all the players in the lobby, so if you're good to go, Cynics, I am as well. Happy to get into this matchup and let these two face off against each other.
I am ready. It's going to be super interesting to see how these teams stack out. It's going to be interesting to see how that challenger opponent has affected Ulta. It's going to be super interesting to see what they can bring out. I want to see clips, I want to see passes, and I want to see consistency. It's going to be super interesting, this.
Yeah, combination from one team just waiting on the other. There's a couple names I do recognize on the field. I don't know many from Prospect. I'm just not on that side of the league, so I don't know that many names, but I've picked up a few in my time casting. Ozan stands out the most to me. He's the highest CMV on the field, the only max CMV. In fact, the captain of this Ulta side. On the other side, Boyo at 1425, also the captain of his team in Fearless Echo. I'll be looking to them to stand out, the ones to watch, the ones to make the biggest difference. See if they can step up to the mark as we get going with the first game of 4. Yeah, Ulta versus Fearless Echo. Well, you see one side struggle, one side soar to the sky. Who knows? We've seen 2 great shots already from this Ulta side, but they've both been stopped very close to the line. I'm already looking forward to this one.
Yeah, very early pressure from Ulta. Maybe we can see a Fearless attack now from the other side, but Fireman shuts that down. Fearless detach, tries again, but can't get past this Fireman also. And White Pony helping out as well. There's also a player which doesn't have a name, which I can't see, which is very interesting, but he already scores a goal. And
I have to assume that's Boyo.
It must be Boyo, and he's
the one
already
that's not got
the
that name on the field, so he's already scored just over 30 seconds in, past that blue defense. Easy as you like, grid edgeable, especially for prospect level. 210 points so quickly. Neutral kickoff does come through though as Fireman Oz tries to get this on target. Will be, he bumps away the second man as well. Krezes gets a bouncer over the defenders, one of the most difficult shots to defend in the Rocket League game. They answer immediately off kickoff.
Yeah, super nice hit by Krezes. I don't know if it was meant to be, but he definitely got both of the defenders out of the goal there. He couldn't do anything about it. It was super nice job by him.
No way.
Kaji Hikori answers back. A Fireman Oz backflips on the touch. Can't get to it. And we're 2-1 in the first game already. Only 1 minute now.
I've seen this kind of trend before where there were like 3 or 4 kickoff goals, one after another. I think it was in a playoff game. It was ridiculous. I'm really hoping history does not repeat itself. Okay, it hasn't. Thank you guys for not making that a reality. As Fearless Echo wanted to give Ulta a taste of their own medicine, an immediate kickoff goal to regain that fragile lead. Now just a minute in, already 3 goals, almost a 4th. As Ulta come roaring back down the field. Krez is trying to keep up some pressure in this corner, but it's easily enough cleared out by Detach. He loses possession, however. White Pony's going to put it to the backboard. Can Kaji get there? He's going to miss, but it makes Fireman miss as well. Krez with another bouncer. This time puts it wide of the mark. It seems like Echo getting away with a lot of chances here as another one's popped over. Can he get there in time? Yes, he can, as Detach and who I assume is Boyo link up to keep it off the line and keep that lead intact. Great play.
Yeah, just barely keeping that off the line. Super nice saves by them. And we see now Ultra again, maybe trying to get started on an attack, but detached already there. Chris is putting it out. Boyo giving a pass mid to Oz. Can he get it on? Kaji Okori just back to save that. And now he can maybe move out to the other side. White Pony flying past the ball. Chris is trying for it, but it's only as far as Faint Infinity is going for a shot, but can't really get on target yet. And it's slowed down a little bit now in the mid game, as we're almost a minute more with no goals, except for those first three. Infinity just now trying for a shot. 2 players up. They can't get it out. Dicha's trying for another pass. Can get it to Boyo, but no shot on yet.
Stats on the board somewhat betray what we're seeing before our eyes. Fearless Echo with fewer shots but more goals. A big miss on the backboard. Oz wasn't expecting it. White Pony's not going to be able to put it on target either. As the time spent on offense, the more consistency on offense has actually been coming from Ultra. We've seen a lot of clear-cut chances of them, a lot of threatening opportunities. They just haven't been able to convert on any but that kickoff goal. So they're really starting to struggle here. Probably getting a little bit frustrated by the fact that they can't find their way through once again to equalize as they try and maraud once more back down this corner post. There's a big demo on Kaji Okori. He leaves up some space, but it ends up going back the other way. So Detached and Boyo, I think, are trying to link up here. They lose the ball, in fact, as Krezes pushes it back down the field. The counter is cut out immediately by the once scorned Kaji Okori, as they're doing fantastically well, Fearless Echo, here to hold on to this lead and make sure that Ultra don't have too many looks at their own net.
Yeah, shutting down this game completely. Not many opportunities after first, but maybe here, no, can't really get to it. Fireman Oz misses out on the ball, and Boyo now maybe can try to get this ball out. Misses the ball, and Chris can bring it in. It's a really weird Fireman Oz tries for the double tap and can't get it in, and White Pony shoots it out. Chris with another shot, he has an open net, and he can get it in.
Great angle.
So many opportunities, so many shots on target. They finally get it in, catching the defense off guard. Couldn't really make it back in time. What a shot from Good Cresses there.
Yeah, they finally got what they were looking for, that were desperately hunting for. They had the offense, they just didn't have that final touch, that finish. The slapboard of the Dominus finally finds its way through. The Cresses stands out with a brace for his team, gets them back into a much more healthy position going towards the end of this game. The final minute dawning upon us as back down the field. Ultra attempt to go. Boyo's trying to cut them out, gets a shot as well. It's hitting the post, almost goes in off a blue defender, but they get fortunate to keep this lead, not this lead, but this situation, this score equal. It's still a midfield battle, you have to say, continuing to ensue. A few misses here and there, but it's been a lot more open throughout the embers of this game, you got to say. And Ultra is starting to maybe get a little bit shy of the fact that they're having to defend so much. The midfield doesn't seem to be their domain that much, but you know, considering where these two teams were in the table before this game began, you'd have thought this would be much more in the favor of Fearless Echo, but it's been coming down to the wire.
Yeah, super close game. Only 20 seconds left before we go into overtime. White Pony getting a bump on his teammate, but can't get the ball out. And now they're going in for maybe the last attack before the overtime. Cresses trying for a shot. Jeez, the defenders just get it out. Can they mount an offense here? Fearless before the time runs out. Fireman also gonna try for another shot. Bounces down again. Only 1 second left. You gotta keep the ball up. Now the Cresses goes for it, but can't really get to it in time. And we have overtime
in game one. It's maybe a surprise to some. It could be ended early as Cresses is right there to finish it off with the hat-trick. Beautiful finish. Another kickoff goal. White Pony pulls out 2 defenders and is just too quick. Slots it far post. Clean as you like. The finish that they were desperately hoping for. The start they were desperately hoping for, I'm sure, based on their position in the table. I mean, based on that, do we think that they beat Eclipse in their cup game? I don't know if that's the case. Maybe someone in the Twitch chat can tell us if that's been updated yet or not. But if it is the case that they were managing to do that, then they've clearly given themselves some sort of hope, some sort of belief that they can beat teams that are supposedly supposed to be better than them. As close as this was, they dominated in a lot of areas, especially on offense. Fearless Echo fought back valiantly, and we got to that overtime, but it ended just as quickly as we got there. So maybe a surprise, maybe not. I'll let you decide that one, Cynics.
Yeah, I gotta say, lovely lob tap there from the Cresses to finish it off. It's beautiful, beautiful shot. And I gotta say that like Alto really showing up here. Maybe it is the shallow game that you are saying that they played. I was a little bit nervous for them in the mid game there. They were missing a lot of like the finishing shots. They got the passes, they got opportunities, but couldn't really finish it in the end. But it seems like they found their stride again, and they found those important goals. I want to see what Fearless Echo can do to answer from this first game. It's going to be super interesting to see what can happen. And I do believe I saw someone joining the game as well in Geleno, a player that I've had on my team before. So it's going to be super interesting to see what he can bring to the game for this next game.
This Forbidden Temple looms. You can argue, and I've argued it before, that this is maybe a home territory for Sanctuary. It's thematic for them. I've made the comparison before that maybe this is where they might play best, which is not something that Fearless Echo players want to hear. Of course, already a game down in this series, not expecting to have lost it. Might have been a bit stung by that, but the best teams, the best players, they react to a loss in a positive light. Whereas there is area to improve, there is something to learn, mistakes to be fixed. And it was still a close game, so they can hold their heads up high, but they still need to prove themselves here. A win is still possible. We can't get to the top of the table. As it stands now, is a great chance by Krezes. Hits both posts. This time, White Pony comes up to follow. Fearless Echo cannot mount a defense quickly enough. They continue to be dominant.
Yeah, Chris is almost hitting another nice shot there. White Pony just finished it in the end. And it looked like Jelena was a little bit stumped by the post hits and couldn't really get to it in time.
So was I.
So you, Boyle here trying for a shot, but hits the crossbar. Just barely missing out on that opportunity. And now Alta gathering around for an attack together here. We can't really get first Fearless detach who gets the first touch out. The Chris is trying for a bounce. And here, what can Fearless go for? Can't really get it in yet. D-Chats go for a high shot, but can't really get it on target. Boyle sending it up towards the ceiling. Alta is struggling here to control this ball. White Pony finally getting a touch on it to get it out. And out of the danger zone. And maybe Alta can try to get something out of this as the Crescent moves it out into the corner. Maybe trying for a pass, but can't really get to it. And Fearless taking control of it again. Detached, but a nice 50 to get it past one, but can't get it past the second guy. Now Dobbs into the middle. Two guys go for from the Fearless side, but they still manage to get it out, and the Crescent can collect it in the Alta corner. Maybe moving this ball out now. Nice clear from the Crescent. Can he get the last touch? White Pony trying to wait for the shot, but Fearless Detached just there in time to get it out again. Alta putting in a lot of pressure here in the second game as well.
Oh, great touch by Krezes. He takes his time. He knows that he can just play the ball while he has it, but not quite enough boost to take it past the first defender. Fireman Oz trying to salvage something in this midfield. It's going to be beaten across eventually by Jeleno, but he does get beaten on the aerial. Krezes in position to get it away and bounces across. That will be on target if he can get back to it. The shot is finally taken through by White Pony. Picks up his brace. Krezes has been an assister now. He got a hat-trick in the last game, but he's finding these passes. Somehow getting the back to the midfield, just beating Fearless Echo by sheer speed down the field, and it's leaving such massive gaps to continue to push forward and just compound upon what they created. The foundation was built in the first game. Now they're building the town upon it, and it's looking mighty stalwart. I don't see Fearless Echo with that much control in this game in any area of the field.
Yeah, and I gotta give it up for White Pony as well, being able to slot these two first goals in for Alta, being ready, being there for the opportunities that the Crescents are creating for him. A really nice touch by White Pony to Crescents, can get it out all the way now. Maybe mounting an offense as Boyo tries to get it out, but can't really get to it. Boyo gets almost past the Crescents, just gets the touch. He tried for the little flick above him, but couldn't really make it. Crescents, nice read on that as well. And now we're fighting in the midfield, trying to get possession of this ball. White Pony wins it out, can try for a pass. Fireman House is there. He goes for the shot, but he's just on the crossbar. Can't really get it in. Really close there as Fearless once again on the backboard, on the
Oh no.
Defense!
Oh, an honorary hat trick here for White Pony. The shot did come from him, but it finally goes in by Detached. Obviously, that's not what he intended to do, but he was just desperate to try and get any sort of touch. Maybe he assumed it was on target. It certainly was after he made contact. It's 2 minutes down, a 3-0 lead for Alter with 0 response from Fearless Echo. And it's looking woeful now. They have a chance, and they do get one through. Moyo didn't expect to be getting this ball back again. Maybe assumed once he'd run out of boost that White Pony was going to get a touch, and so did Krezes, so it left that back post wide open. They aren't done just yet, Cynics.
They aren't done just yet. Yes, as you say, bringing it back a little bit. Maybe this is what they needed, just that first goal to get it going. Boyo here, another opportunity, but Krezes just back in time to clear it out off the but Fearless Zisha gets a free shot, can't get it in though. It's off the back post again. Can't finish these shots. They're so important now to bring this game back into an even standing. White Pony to clear it out for Alter. Maybe moving it up, but Boyo, quick to it. Can get another touch on it, but doesn't really get the best touch with Jeleno. But he goes for it and he tries. Almost makes it work. White Pony now to get it out, but gets met by Detached in the middle field. Krezes trying, but can't get past Jeleno. Detached again with the pass, but can't get the touch. Boyle tries for a shot, but can't get it into the back of the net. We're back into the Fearless side again.
Apologies to interrupt, Cynics. It appears we've been led astray. Twitch chat, as much as they like to lie, I think in this case they're being truthful. The man that's about to score is not Boyle. It is in fact TX, which, you know, it'd be helpful if you you put your name, your actual name in your name instead of illegal characters or unrecognized characters. It does TX as the brackets, the clan tag, so to speak. But why don't you just put it in your normal name, man? Make it easier for us so we don't have to be calling you out as the wrong player. Either way, he's been playing quite well. Boyo or TX, doesn't matter. Got a brace and is bringing Fearless Echo kicking and screaming back into this second game. They still have a chance to bring it to an overtime. Another one on the bounce will be quite exciting to see, but Alter definitely wanting to hold on to this lead, make sure that Fearless Echo can't find their way back in. Don't give them that hope. They will take it and they will run with it. Great fake out through the corner does allow a bit of space for Alter to try and get back out, but TX is there to try and push it back to the middle, but Jay Leno is way too far back, way too defensive in this situation. They have to be further up the field. As dangerous as it is, the only result will be a loss if they do not push back up. Touchdown from Detached, just find its way to Jay Leno. He's got it through the corner, but not much boost. Means he gets bumped out, but Detached will be there nevertheless, as 3-0-0-3-3 lines up perfectly for Fearless Echo. Slots it bottom right, actually hits it into the defender and gives us another chance at a second overtime, Cynics. This is exhilarating.
Yeah, from what looked like a one-sided game, to be honest, from Malta, has just turned into a 3-3, into another overtime, as well as you're saying, Vector. Another overtime in game 2. It's super exciting to see these players fighting back into the game. And TX almost went for the shot but couldn't get it on target. Jay Leno goes for one himself, but the Crisis is up to get it out. And he's starting to heat up, I've got to say. Fearless bringing it back in game 2. And they show they are here to play. Super interesting to see.
Yeah, regardless of the outcome of this overtime, you've got to give it to Fearless Echo. Got that fight back ability, that grit to not give up. 3-0 down with I think it was a minute, 2 minutes to go, something like that. You would not put it past a lot of people to just pack it in and just throw in the towel, assume that you've lost your chance, but no, they kept fighting, they kept believing, and they gave themselves something to hang on to here. They're being a lot stronger and stronger as Jalen with a free shot just hits it straight at Krezes. Detached should be back in time, unless it's TX who has to come bail him out. Thankfully, the rotation was quick enough to prevent the counter goal as TX all on his own tries to get the 50 over, pinches it across to the corner. And a bit of a soft reset here as Alter gets some time to reorganize themselves. My mistake.
Yeah, maybe that is what Alter needs. As it's going to be tough to going down from a 3-0 lead into a 3-3 into an overtime. And now barely almost losing the game. It's got to be tough. They've got to be mentally strong, these players, to keep on playing and try to get this win home. But Fearless has had a lot of more pressure now on the Alter side. As Alter started to struggle a little bit in the defense, just barely making it out. And I got to say,
in the driver's seat, yeah. Surprising, considering the way that Alter had complete control.
maybe Crescent can be the defense though. White Pony couldn't get the touch.
1v1.
Fearless detach, well, on the other side! Misses the ball, Fearless detach, that's gonna go 2 minutes of overtime. And
He had nothing. He had nothing in the tank whatsoever, but he had the pace. He had the threat. He made the defender believe that he was going to do something more with that ball. Gave him the eye, sent him packing all the way past it. And Fearless Detach, with his brace, takes game 2 back. Equal series, and what a way to do it. Down 3-0, back to 3-3, won the overtime that they previously lost in 3 seconds in the first game. That is what we want to see from any team, not just a prospect team, from anyone, to have that determination and that fortitude to just fight back no matter the situation and to earn a win in that fashion. That's got to be massive for their mental, and I can't wait to see how Alter respond to that. We posited the question, how would Echo respond to losing that overtime, losing a tight one that they were expected to win, and this is how they've done it. The ball is now in Alter's court, and let's see if they're able to play it, because if this series is anything to go by, then the rest of this night should be exemplary. It's incredible.
Yeah, if Fearless had a small mental hill to climb, we gotta say now that Alter must have a mountain after losing such a big lead in the game 2. Must be very hard. I hope you guys maybe take a small breath, get ready for the game 3. It's still a win on the board for both teams. It's gonna be super interesting to see how these next games stack up as we get into third game. Alter versus Fearless.
So we're going here on Sovereign Heights. Quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Appropriate. You said that there was a mental hill that Echo had to climb. They conquered it. Can they continue to do so? They're now fighting downhill to go up against an Alter that will be resurgent, that will be looking desperately to get back into the winning ways. They know that every game is crucial, even at this point in the season. The current position in 8th. They've only got 1 game, they were hoping for 2. Could they make it 3? And the time will tell. A few shots across the bow already in the first 30 seconds, but no goal scored yet as it's bounced all the way back to the red wall. TX with enough boost to take this over 1. Can he get it over another? Didn't quite get the reset, couldn't utilize the mechanics. They couldn't get it past the last man, but you've got to love to see it from this level. It's it's supposedly the lowest level in the league in Prospect. You don't expect to see that many mechanical plays, but some people have just got that ability. It's just innate, and they use it in such wonderful ways. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but when it does, it's beautiful and it's devastating.
Yeah, it's wonderful when we have so much talent in this league. Even the lowest tier can show up and really show what they can do. With the mechanical plays, with the passing plays. And right now I love what I'm seeing. Fearless Detach goes for a shot but can't get it on. And TX did try for a second one. Fireman also really playing with fire there.
Yeah.
Putting the ball across the net. Luckily no one was there, and luckily he can keep it out. As Fearless now putting up on a little bit of pressure here on Alter. Maybe struggling to get this ball out as Fearless Detach goes for another one but can't really get past all the players. Jelena now to go get it in. TX for a shot. Fireman also there to save it already. And maybe Alter trying to mount an attack. Cressis is there for the touch but can't really get it past Jelena. He's already back ready for that. TX now going for the pass. Can't get it to Jelena. Nobody back to save it. TX gets the answer on the pass from Jelena as well. And Fearless starting from the front here in game 3.
First blood, it's huge. I think it's the game that they've scored first and held the lead. Before that one went in, thought was brewing my mind that this has felt a lot more cagey, a lot more tactical. It's slowed down, it's more methodical. Both teams have a lot of respect from each other. Both sides winning in overtime in much different fashions, you've got to say. And they recognize each other's ability. It's just about finding those little moments, those little bits in the armor that you can exploit, that you can find your way through. As a weak shot from Fireman. Oh, it's a big opportunity. Even bigger one here for TX. He has the boost. He won't need it as he finds his brace, sinks it straight down the middle of the net. Poor rotation here from Alter, although you've got to say, if Krez has got a touch there, they probably would have got away with it.
Yeah, heartbreak for Krez as he flipped the wrong way, I believe. Going into the 50, just whiffing the ball. With no players back, he would be the ending touch from him to seal the goal for Fearless Echo. As they go 2 goals up now, Fearless Echo really starting to get a hold of this series after going backwards in the first games, coming back and now leading with 2 goals. But Alter has not given up yet as they put on pressure again. Fireman also gonna try to get this ball, but can't really get a touch on his back pass to Cresses, who can throw it out into the other corner. Maybe a pass as well. Is White Pony there to answer? He is, and he scores! And a beautiful passing play by the Alter side, I have to say. Cresses and White Pony showing up again.
And exactly the response they needed, that they were hoping for, and ever more prevalent. I just wanted to mention someone in the chat, Kieran, I don't know, I'm probably butchering your name, I apologize, but you made a great point before that one went in. That was 6 goals unanswered for Fearless Echo. They scored 3 in response to Alter's lead, then the overtime goal, then 2, now make it 3 in this game. Alter responded, but Fearless Echo in kind as 2 big demos open up space, but it doesn't matter. The only space that matters is the ball into the back of the blue net. TX picks up his hat-trick from 6 shots. He's got almost 500 points, a single point off of it. He is dragging this team by the collar to victory. And he's going to get another touch across here, down the field. Doesn't have much boost to work with, but he's left to the ball as Krezes doesn't get what he was looking for. Detached to follow as well, and Jelena was right there to try and do something with it, but loses possession, still keeps the pressure, still making sure that Alter cannot break out with any sort of efficacy. It's kicked to the corner. Awkward to deal with it, does pull a double commit and a demo as well. It's a free shot for Krezes, but he puts it high. Can Fireman finish it? No, he cannot. They cannot close the deficit, and these missed chances are going to continue to hurt them.
Yeah, just so close, but still so far away for Alter right now. Just missing those crucial last touches to get the goals. But White Pony almost getting it past Jelena, I believe, was the last defender with that a little bit of an awkward touch for the shot. But defenders of Fearless are still standing strong in this game. Ooh. Only 30 seconds left. TX almost with another beautiful play, but can't really get to it. Cresses now to bring it back to the other side. But TX and Detach are there to bring it back out. And Alter, the time is running out. Only 10 seconds left to get something going. 2 goals down, but Gileno, he doesn't get it in. Cresses to get it out. But the time has run out for Alter in game 3. And it is going to be a win for Fearless. 2-1 the score right now. And yeah, what is happening with this series, Vector?
Who knows? Who knows? Couldn't quite get one for the road there, Fearless Echo. I'm sure they'd have loved to pad their goal stats and widen that difference just that little bit more to their opponents down the table. But they'll be happy with the victory, I'm sure, and with the assurance that they will not be losing this series at the very least. But Alter can now only hope for a draw to only match with Fearless Echo to maintain the status quo, the gap between them in games. It's always a difficult thing in a 4-game set where you have to just accept the fact that now it's damage limitation. You just have to make sure that you're not losing more from a series than you attempted to gain. They started so well, but now they're really starting to struggle as Fearless Echo commanded Forbidden Temple by the end, and they've continued to just add on to the misery that Alter must be feeling right now. And all credit to TX with his hat-trick. His teammates did help in a lot of areas, but he was the man in that game. And in this whole series, he's got the MVP leading vote for me right now. Let's see if anyone from Alter can change my opinion. here on the fourth and final game of this series. Do you expect Alter to come back, Cynics, based on what you've seen, or are Echo just simply far too strong at this point?
Yeah, Alter is just trying to climb this mountain, but he just keeps on rising right now. And it's gonna be interesting to see if they can find some footing just to get up on the top and get over this huge mountain they have to climb. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen right now, as Wash Leno gets a free shot onto the net, and once again the Alter players are just not back it in time.
Yeah, it's just giving far too much free space. I can see what Krez is trying to do there, try and keep that offense alive, but he just hits it off the sidewall, and Leno has the time to take whatever touch he wants. He can just catch it, dribble it, free as a bird, and as you said, no one back, no rotation, and Alter are looking wayward. They've been hit too hard, it seems. They're dazed. There's a big demo on the back line, does open up space, but it's a weak shot from Fireman. Oh no, White Pony, in fact, my mistake. As they struggled continuously to get a shot away. Ignore me, Cynics. I don't know what I'm talking about, because the Krezes is back with a vengeance. Takes it past one, it's just past two for free, and then he snipes that near post to make it an equal game once again. They're still having to fight to just the bare minimum, to just the possibility of an overtime, but it is a positive forward step for them.
Yeah, I gotta say, the Krezes is not over for this game. Really showing up here, saying, no, I'm not done yet. We still have something to give, and really putting the team on his back right now with the first goal, and saying, leading, that we are not going quietly into the night.
I'm just noticing. We return to Sovereign Heights. A map so nice they played it twice. One of my favourite maps, probably my favourite map at this point, so I'm not surprised that Hazza decided to keep this one on the field. No problem, mate. I'm happy about it, even if some might not be. Beckwith's back is nice. So just look at Sovereign Heights. It's beautiful, and what a place for it to beat for the final game. Hopefully not giving some bad memories for Alter, as they do attempt to flip preset here, White Pony. I like the confidence still that they're going for this kind of thing, that they're not afraid to take the risky play. They trust in each other's rotation at the very least still to go for that kind of thing. But that might not be enough, as Detached doesn't have boost, but he has the threat of a TX marauding on to the opponents. Eventually finds its way through. He doesn't even need to finish it himself, as he gets his teammate Heleno with his brace to make it a lead for Fearless Echo once again. And it almost feels like death by 1,000 cuts at this point for Alter. Echo continuously win almost every single play, especially in the midfield, and it's given them so many opportunities, and the juxtaposition of that is that they're finishing them so much more than their opponents.
Yeah, I've got to say the Alter boys have been putting a lot of opportunities into the mix, but you just can't finish that last touch most of the time. And Fearless is just a little bit better at finishing those crucial shots, putting it into the back of the net. But I gotta say, really nice patient play there by Fearless Echo, just taking control of the ball and making sure they get into the corner they want to. White Pony trying to get an attack started here again. Chris is trying for a shot, but can't really get it on target again. Just the defender standing in the way, not letting him shoot it. And we get back into the Alter side as the Crisis and the team try to bring it out, but Crisis can't get a touch on it. Fearless detached for a shot, but it's just outside. As we go back into Alter trying to get an offensive on, getting a little bit of a bump in. White Pony tries for a touch, but can only get to the other side of the field as Detached brings it back into the Alter side. Starting the offensive again. Couple of plays go up here for Fearless, but he still managed to keep it on. Cress is just managing to keep that out, but TX for another shot to Fireman us. What a save on the goal line.
The desperate Dolphin dive.
For this game.
And you got to think, if that one went in, it may just have been all said and done for Alter. They'll be so happy that it didn't. They eventually get through. Crisis gets into a good position with the half flip, but thankfully for Echo, TX is there to deal with it. A great pass across, does find its way to the near post, but it bounces up and away. Crisis looks for the double, will not find it. And try as they might, they just cannot find a way through. They keep the pressure here, but it's only to Detach, who does eventually put it to Fireman Oz. They waste a chance, and it feels like more often than not they're just rushing the offense, which you can sort of not blame them for. You can forgive them for, in a sense, because it's so late in this game and they're so close to conceding another so many times that they're desperate for anything, any sort of luck. They're gonna hunt it down, but they need to take their time. These chances are coming few and far between, so they need to make sure that they're getting the most out of them.
Yeah, I feel like they're giving them a little bit of more time than the Alta team is really realizing that they have. Just shooting maybe a little bit earlier than they need to, when they can control the ball in for a dribble or something of the like. As TX so many times he's done by himself, just taking control of the ball, dragging the defenders out for his team, and then getting the crucial touches as White Pony tries to get it out, which almost with a really nice shot onto the net. Just super awkward for the Alta defense to handle. The attach can't get the shot on target, and it's once again only 0 seconds.
Oh, that's pressure.
Super
just
pressure
constant.
from Fearless.
They just would not let him out. They just kept him down by the throat constantly. In that last 30 seconds, I never at one point thought Alta was going to get that ball out of their own box, never mind their own half. That was an incredible performance by Echo. Defense starts on your opponent's side of the field, and they very much took that to heart. As long as you can keep them penned in, keep them fearful of where you're going to be. They almost always seem to have someone in position. Their boost management was exceptional, and that gave them the chance to shut down Alta in every facet. And this last game, looking at the scoreline, you'd think it was close. No, it wasn't. Alta got a good goal, but Echo were in complete control. I don't think they were ever fearful about the result of this game. And even if it went to an overtime, they had the most recent win in the overtime from a comeback win. So I think they were just that much better in this one. They maybe struggled in the first game, and they got blindsided a little bit by an Alta that they didn't expect to do much in this series. It was still an overtime, a close series as well. But from that point on, they showed their pedigree. They showed why they were in 4th position, and now I believe, if I check the table, I think they've leapt up a couple places provisionally, as I said, because the 3 teams above them are yet to play any of their games this week, and this was Fearless Echo's 2nd series. So they are now currently up to 2nd place, I think, because of a goal difference, just about pipping them on Sareed Taisho, because that's up to 17 wins. So great play from Fearless Echo. They still probably won't finish in 2nd place, but well earned, well deserved victory. Commiserations to Alta. They played their hearts out, but they just simply got straight up beaten here, and that's through no fault of their own. Echo were flawless in a lot of ways. Yeah,
Echo a little bit better at finishing the opportunities there, and I gotta say, heartbreak for Alta as they looked so strong in the second game, into the middle of the game almost, but then just falling short, and they just couldn't find their footing again. But well played from both teams, I gotta say. Alta really looking strong in the beginning, and Fearless Echo just finishing strong in the end.
What I mentioned in the chat is screaming because Echo went 7-1. Unfortunate that the sweep couldn't be kept up. They got one in the previous series, but not in this one. Alta just had enough to get a game off of them. But 7-1 is nothing to scoff at. And they could have very easily got 18 points by the end of this week. But they'll be hoping the teams around them now will falter and not be able to get many points. Either which way, that'll do it for the Prospect Division tonight, and for myself as well. It's unfortunate to believe in you, Cynics. This was a great series to do in our 2nd time in the booth together. Well, technically 3rd time, I think it is, because we did 2 on the 1st. So I don't know how you'd count that, but either way, it was a lot of fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that it goes well for your next series as well. I believe it's Elite that you're going up to now.
Yes, I think it was Scorch against Carbo that are going to play next series. That's going to be super interesting to see how those 2 teams are going to stack up against each other. But super fun to cast again with you, Vector. I've got to say.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine, and I hope the pleasure was extended to you at home as well. That'll be it for the first match of the night. Still 2 more on the docket, as we said, Elite coming up next, eventually moving on to Challengers. So there's plenty more Rocket League action to sink your teeth into. We'll be right back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with some more RSC action.
I got my hope on full, but my heart's on empty. Don't know what you want, you've been gone and you left me. Give what I got, it's for naught, to the next please. Stuck in my emotions at a loss when you text me. When I'm in, you're out, you gon' take me down. You complain about everything, oh wow, nothing's changed about how you came around. Yeah, always try to blame me while you play around. So tell me what the deal is, tell me what you want, yeah. I can't even give it, I'm all out of love. Thinking that we finished, but then you pulled a card. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm out of here. I think you out of love. Simple little changes, probably all subtle. Notice that you ain't the same, and I'm puzzled. Wonder what it takes, I'm breaking down rubble. I had to switch lanes, I'm safe in my bubble. Look, I don't know what I'm feeling. We back and forth depending. No matter what the weather is, you're never gonna get it. Packing my bags, moving, I'm finished. All out of gas, I've been empty, diminished. I got my hope on full, but my heart's on empty. Don't know what you want, you've been gone and you left me. Give what I got, it's for naught, to the next please. Stuck in my emotions at a loss when you text me. When I'm in, you're out, you gon' take me down. You complain about everything, oh wow, nothing's changed about how you came around. Yeah, always try to blame me while you play around. You talk on my name, I was lost in a phase. You were wrong in your place and you wanna be shamed. And you're off with the lames, got me gone into space. You were coming for my image, but it blew up in your face. Well, really you the villain, but always put on a front. Got me second guessing feelings, I'm wondering if I'm wrong, yeah. Manipulative and timid, you rigorous with your love. Been addicted to the feeling, but lately it's getting wrong. Look, I don't know what I'm feeling, we back and forth depending. No matter what the weather is, you're never gonna get it. Packing my bags, moving, I'm finished. All out of gas, I've been empty, diminished. I got my hope on full, but my heart's on empty. Don't know what you want, you've been gone and you left me. Give what I got, it's for naught, to the next please. Stuck in my emotions at a loss when you text me. When I'm in, you're out, you gon' take me down. You complain about everything, oh wow, nothing's changed about how you came around. Yeah, always try to blame me while you play around. When I'm in, you're out, you gon' take me down. You complain about everything, oh wow, nothing's changed about how you came around. Yeah, always try to blame me while you play around. Whoa. I wish we would have never met. I try to run, but there's always a doubt on my head. I'll take these strings, I'll throw them out, but forget they're on my shoes. The laces on my shoes. The laces on my shoes. You call my phone, I decline. Your messages don't reply, girl. We try, we fight, it never ends. I know I'm right, so no amends. And I want you to be okay, but I don't wanna stay. And like you know it's the end. I don't want it to hurt, but I want you to know that I wish we would have never met. I try to run, but there's always a dot on my head. I'll take these strings, I'll throw them out, but forget they're on my shoes. The laces 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 on my shoes. There's always a dot on my head. I'll take these strings, I'll throw them out, but forget they're on my shoes.
Call me on my phone, I'll pick up, 'cause I'm home. All the stressing might just put me in a coffin, and I just can't decide with all these options. So you know I gotta move with caution. Late nights too high, you've been in my mind. Long ride, nighttime, girl, come by my side, by my side, by my side, by my side, by my side. And we could do what we want, it could be all night long, but I don't wanna get too gone, 'cause I don't wanna do you wrong. Call me on my phone, I'll pick up, 'cause I'm home alone, and you know that I'm missing you. No, I don't need a single thing from you. We go where we want, when we feel like we want to. You know I've been thinking about this often. All the stressing might just put me in a coffin, and I just can't decide with all these options. So you know I gotta move with caution. Late nights too high, you've been in my mind. Long ride, nighttime, girl, come by my side, by my side, by my side, by my side, by my side. And we could do what we want, it could be all night long, but I don't wanna get too gone, 'cause I don't wanna do you wrong. Call me on my phone, I'll pick up, 'cause I'm home alone, and you know that I'm missing you.
Hey yo, this is the first song that I ever recorded. Check it out. Hey, 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 hey.
I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but that's not what
just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now.
I've been chilling in the back of a class with a pack on my back and my mind in a Maybach. I'm afraid that I'm too laid back. I don't study, but I make great A-rap. Little shorty, and you wanna throw way back. Got a little bit of rock and a little bit of jazz and a little bit of top and a little bit of racks and a little bit of smile and a whole lot of laugh. Hey, I kick back, you know that my rap kicks. I've been smiling for so long, I might need chapstick. I ain't talking to you fakes, these brothers plastic. Kill a verse and they put me on the blacklist.
I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now. I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now.
One that coming from my neck, ayy, I'm just trying to do my best. I ain't ever son a check, but a brother know he blessed. I'ma go cop some shoes at the thrift. Honda Civic from 02, with your boo, yeah, that's my lift. I be flexing, that's a Walmart on my wrist. $30. $30? That's the price of my whole fit. You got Gucci on your jacket and I'm laughing. Pass the booth, I ain't gon' have it. Yeah, the truth is what I'm rapping.
I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now. I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now. I got some things in my mind that I think will be better off sitting a song, yeah. Be my addiction and be my depression, I'm winning against all the odds, yeah. Pride got the best of me, I was a center, a player, I fell to the ground, they told me I won't make it, I took it and made something greater, I'm lost, but I know I'll be fine, yeah. Saying now, they gon' know the name, I'm a hard hitter on the road to fame. I was feeling down, so I wrote a page, get a beat, leave it in a murder case. She gon' want me when the lights down, yeah, I'm feeling it right now. Setting up the new heist now, smile for the bite down. I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now. I got all this money, but it's not what makes me happy. Used to be so cocky, but it's now all just to pass me. Speakers loud, roof is down, riding through my city now. She's in for the picture, I'm open, I got no worries now.
Bro, that was my first song, dude. The next one.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the RSC stream, where we are in the second series of the night. We move up to the Elite tier, where we will see Scorch taking on Carbo, where we saw previously Alter get taken down by Fearless Echo 3-1. And alongside me for this part of the cast tonight, we have Liquid Sight. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, Kingsman. Thanks for having me here. It's always exciting to see Rocket League. It's fantastic to see RSC as well up and running. Obviously, during the downtime of RSC, I was off casting with ERS as well, which is another fantastic sister league or cousin league, whatever you want. And RSC in its 12th season. Who would have thought we would be here at this point? The 12th season, people always say it's the best season yet, right?
Yeah, true. The league improves every single season, and big credit, obviously, to everyone for that. It works behind the scenes, but we're going to get into looking at some of the team stats now as we see the two teams that will be lining up alongside each other tonight. You have Scorch sat in 10th place, currently 6-18, and Carbo on a good run of form, sat 5th with 13-11. So one team having clearly the better start and one team not getting off to the start they'd have wanted.
Yeah, everything on paper is really pointing to Carbo going to be running over Scorch. in this lineup. But as we have seen time and time again, with the way that this league really balances team, is the way something happens on paper isn't always what happens on the pitch. So there's always a surprise, there's always an upset. I mean, if you guys were watching the last game, boy, those were a couple nail biters, and Prospect was really showing their colors. And here we are in the elite tier, so we're quite a step up.
Yeah, we are the second highest draftable tier. And yeah, let's move on to some player stats now as we see which players will be lining up with us for tonight's game. Obviously, we see the players in the lobby. We have Ahmed Sar, Fused, and Spooks lined up for Scorch. Relatively low stats compared to the lineup for Carbo tonight, which is 385 MS, Josh, and Cuba Cube, which all have above a 50% goal participation rate and a very high win rate compared to those of Scorch.
Like we can really see from the Carbo lineup that 385 and Josh, those are their 2-point man, really making a splash, playing the majority of their games. So we're hoping to see synergy out of both of those, and hopefully Cube can provide a little bit of support and come in and finish up those messes that 385 and Josh are going to create. At the end of the day, as we said, on paper, Carbo looks like the one to beat, so it's in Scorch's hand to figure out how to break down Carbo.
Yeah, and well, that is their challenge if they're going to want results. Is should we get them into the game now? I've got Spooks having a go at me.
I definitely think we should get right to it. I'm definitely excited. I think the players excited as they are starting to populate the field. I'm not really sure how this is going to go. I always root for the underdog, so I really hope that Scorch comes out with a banger right off the bat.
Yeah, and whereas I will be rooting for... I think I've got my money on the better side, which will be underway, and Spooks proving me wrong already, Liquid.
Well, that didn't take long as well. 12 seconds in, and we have Scorch that are on the board. Just a missed read from that corner. The last defender totally missed the ball, and Scorch, Spooks made no mistake of filing that right into their net. And here we have another kickoff. Spooks got a little bit of boost, tries for a flip reset, doesn't connect with the ball, and it's down and away back into Scorch's end. And now it's their turn to defend, as this game has reached a neutrality of a 1-1 goal, and we are 23 seconds in.
Yeah, very quick start from both teams. Josh and 385 linking up very well to ensure that they keep the game tied up again. But 23 seconds in, and the goal from Scorch all but nullified in this game. So we're going to see what they can do now as we see Ahmed in the corner looking for a bit of a touch. There's Cuba, a very awkward miss, but 385 is going to get it. Look for a bit of a passing play as teams looking very unsettled going into this first minute of the game.
I would definitely agree. I think both teams are trying to figure out where each other sit. Obviously, if they looked at the stats beforehand, Scorch has got to be thinking, man, this team is way ahead of us in the stats. But clearly, their confidence hasn't been rocked. 385 is trying to slot one in. Not enough boost to catch it. Third man didn't jump into that as Scorch is making a breakout. Fuse gets a demo. Spooks doesn't have enough to slot it in. And 385 kicks it away and has deleted that pressure. Lucky for them, because that was all but a sure thing. I love seeing demos on the field. I'm a huge fan of demo plays. I know some people out there are not, but I think they make a big difference maker and can make a lot of space in the field.
Yeah, as much people don't like them, it's going to be a good method as Josh finds the net, giving Carbo their first lead of the game. Lovely little, very slow ceiling pinch from 385, but Josh finds the top of the net anyway and gives Carbo that 2-1 lead.
Well, we thought at the beginning, before we got into the match, that 385 and Josh are playing very well. They both had 24 games, so they've played a lot of games together in the league, season 12, and there they are showing that they can trust each other and are able to make the play and get away by going one goal up.
Yeah, and well, this is what they need really is coming into this as the higher seed. They will really be thriving on this as we see Josh now looking to push the ball forward, but Fused gets the ball clear after demoing 385. Cube, quick shot. How crucial is that going to be as it rolls off the post? Bit of an open net. Mrs. Ahmed having a peek at what looked like an open net, but in fact wasn't going to be. As we see Fuse now, looks to put the ball middle. Is there anything from it? Spooks does find the ball, but 3-5. What a save from him. It keeps the game at 2-1.
Josh is trying to carry this out, doesn't get past the midfield. 3-5, a little bit of an awkward position, but he finds Josh. Josh finds 3-5. It was interrupted right when the shot was about to happen. Cube just kind of throws the ball away, hoping that his teammates are there. Josh is going to try and collect the ball. He's got no boost. He has to retreat, and Spooks is going to fire one a little bit deadly, but is controlled into the corner. 3-5 takes his time trying to collect the ball. He's now out of boost, and Cube has to make an important save right onto Josh's nose, and it looks like Carbo is down and away to try and make something of this play. Josh is in there deep. He makes the tip. It hits the crossbar. 3-5 tries to clean up, and Ahmed is able to kick it away, but is not out yet. Cube makes a pass, but Josh had no boost to make anything out of this. This game is starting to heat up as we are seeing some of the mechanics come out, and this play, again, 3-5 to Josh. Josh and 3-5 are making a mess of Scorch, and if they, Scorch, and if Scorch doesn't figure out how to answer or let me finish my sentence without scoring, they're going to be in trouble. However, what a great goal by Ahmed. There was a great pass, and they did find the answer. It is tied up again with only a minute 40 left.
Yeah, and well, Scorch really fighting their way back in this one. And well, we're going to see what they can do as Cube looks to push it forward, but going to be deflected out. Spooks now looking for the ball forward. Josh, though, looks for the ball middle. He's not going to find it. Is now the ball cleared away by Spooks there. And which team do you think has this in the bag? Which team do you think has the eyes to score the next goal here, then?
You know, I'm really starting to see Carbo, the way Josh and 3-5 are finding each other. There's Cube, able to get that one off the ceiling. As I was saying, you know, hats off to 3-5 and Josh for being able to find each other. And Cube finally got into play. I've been feeling like this last 4 minutes, Cube has been kind of hanging back, being a deep third man, playing a defensive, allowing Josh and 3-5 to go in there and create a mess and find each other. However, it was great to see 3-5 to get, or sorry, Cube to get in there and score a goal.
Yeah, it was, and it reopens them. They have their second lead of the game, of the series, actually, because this is game number 1. But now we're going to see Spooks look to push the ball forward. Ahmed, bit of a miss, but he takes out a player in the making. As now we see Fused up, reset. Can he get the second touch? Yes, he can, but Josh will get the clear. As now we see 3-5 beat out the last defender. And well, you were not going to be jumping as last man there, or 3-5 will punish you. Game's 4-2, and the first 2-goal lead has been established.
It looked like Spooks had a bit of a missed touch there, and Ahmed tried to get up there and help that touch because that was not the touch that he was expecting. Unfortunately, he forgot he was third man, and at that point, that goal was all but in.
Yeah, it was, but the game very much not over yet. There's still 30 seconds left as Ahmed switches it to the backboard, but Josh now looking for the clear. Spooks middle, is there anyone there? Ahmed is, but it's going to be met by Cube now, as we see the ball potentially being pushed further forward, as now we see Josh clear it away. Not much being shown from Scorch here, but there's still 10 seconds left. Ahmed clears it away, and I think anything now was going to be a consolation goal, if anything.
It looks like, Carbo is going to hold this one down, let the ball drop. His teammate didn't seem to want to let it drop. But that was a very well put together win by Carbo, really showing why they're in 5th place. 800 points on the board for 3-5. A man that's a master of the ball there, not able to shake it. He was almost present for everything. 2 goals, 2 assists, 5 saves, and 3 shots. Really making himself a large presence on the field.
Yeah, he was. And well, when it's like that, you got to be learning to defend hit players like him. 100% goal contribution that series. 2 goals, 2 assists, and 5 saves. Those are stats not really to be laughed at. But from the Scorch side, you only had 2 goals and 10 shots. They had a lot more possession, but not able to break down that Carbo defense. Maybe that's something they need to work on potentially for game number 2 here.
You know, if I was Scorch, I'd start looking at when 385 is on the ball. Try and challenge him early. Get him to throw the ball away. I mean, that's what I would think. However, 385 and Josh were so instrumental in that last game, linking up. There wasn't a moment when the ball was going to the intended player. So it's going to be hard to shut them down. To your point, breaking down the defense, I'm always a big fan of demos. When you're on the offense, you collect your boost, you throw the ball into the corner, you rush across the goal line and see if you can collect someone. A lot of the times that can make the space for the goal to happen. We saw that happen in the first 23 seconds, and I have mucked this game.
Yeah, as well. Liquid has seemed to have left the match already. I don't know what that is all about, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. As now we see Josh pinning the ball forward. 385 not going to find anything there as Josh looks to push it forward. Fused now, but gonna get cut out by Cube as Liquid has come back. As now we're gonna see Ahmed push the ball further forward as Josh looks to bang it in the middle. Cube though is gonna find it, but it's gonna be wide. 30 seconds in, and a lot of the ball ending up in the Scorch half and close to their net, but not close enough to incarcerate a goal yet.
Boy, that was threatening there. I do apologize to both teams. I'm too busy playing six-mans, and I saw the wrong field. I hit the auto instead of the spectate, as Josh is able to rifle it through all three defenders. I think everyone was low on boost, not able to control the ball. 385 again, linking up with Josh. A great pass out in the middle, and no one on the defending team of Scorch is able to clear that out.
Yeah, no, they aren't, and that's what we said. They had to watch out for 385. He picks up an assist again in the books. Farming stats. So if that is anyone you want on your fantasy league team, that is who it would be so far. Spooks 50 of Josh. It's going to work for 385. There's a bump comes out onto Fused, making it a bit awkward. We know how much you love your bumps in demos, Liquid, and well, it's clearly paying off for Carbo so far, as that's a good 50. It's going to challenge Spooks on the net, but a minute down and not as much tension, it seems, as the first game.
I would agree. I think both teams have kind of found their stride. They figured out where each other are. Now it's just a question of nerves and mental game. Clearly, excuse me, Carbo is the commanding one with one goal. However, this is a series of four where every game matters, and Spook slots one on the board. There we are. I think 385. Everyone else had just complete trust that 385 was going to be able to clear this cube. Bad position. Josh backflips. Spooks scores.
Yeah, and well, what a crucial goal it could be, and what a crucial kickoff that is. Ooh. And what a redirect, but oh, it's even better save. Oh no! Oh dearie me, I thought that was going in, but oh dear, it's gonna be 1-1. What a save from 385 to start off with, and even worse of a miss, I think, from Ahmed to keep the game at 1-1. Wow, that really should have been 2-1.
Goal opportunities are showing up on either end. Defensive plays are monumental here, but you know, Crossbar's best goalie changed my mind here. Here comes Spooks with a shot. It is on target. I thought that was the post. I didn't want to jinx it, so I had to take a pause there, but way for Fuse to get it up, and Spooks enough boost, enough gumption, and slots it into the corner, and now they are up 2-1.
Yeah, what an absolute role reversal we're seeing here as Scorch take the lead, and I'd say they look the better team going into. Spooks has looked absolutely deadly on the ball, and what a pass, and Ahmed not able to get that. That 3-1 lead would have been detrimental to the side of Carbo, and that's a ball up, a bit of a double commit, allowing Spooks maybe not to get the ball first, as we see Cube pin it downfield, but now he's going to go up, look to beat one, beats another. 385 though on the ball as Fused clears it away, and well, Carbo, they look to be the side putting on all the threat, all the pressure in game. Oh my god, I just lost my train of thought after seeing that. I thought it was going to be an own goal, but they look to be the side with all the threat in this game, but not really showing anything this game.
I would tend to agree there. I had a pause moment there as well. I thought for sure that was going to be an own goal. Again, this is kind of one of those things where we're in a forced perspective. We can't tell if the ball is on the post or in the net. but that was going to be just detrimental of that way. And thank God that was off the post. As we see here, Carbo has turned up the heat again, and Scorch is on their heels. They look to collect themselves and to collect the boost. Cube did not have the touch they wanted. And Ahmed, I've noticed, has been an individual on a mission. He has been bumping and hitting and demoing people. I hope it doesn't throw him out of position, as Fused has time to collect this ball. He's got the boost as well. He didn't get the flip reset he wanted, but Ahmed was there to help him. Gets the boost steal. Oh, Spooks just about got railed, and Josh is up there, and he's going to meet up with 385. Didn't quite get the shot he wanted, and Josh is back now down the other way. Didn't get the touch he wanted. Is Spooks able to slot that one into the top corner? He is able to beat, who was in the last defender there? I think Josh was in an awkward position. Oh yeah, he missed the ball. And then 385 probably had nothing in the tank. Just had to make an instinctual jump. What a shot by Spooks. Spooks has what, got all 3 goals? Yeah, there's a hat trick for him. And Fuse has the playmaker.
Yeah, and I mean, what a combo they've been this game. They've linked up really well on the field, and it's worked out for them, and this could be a double tap, it is, to probably seal the fate of Carbo here. It's what happens when you give Fuse too much space on the ball. He'll punish you for it. 4-1. What a double tap. And well, this game might be close to being over now.
Clearly, if this is ranked, you would have already forfeited about a minute ago, right?
That is true, yeah. Ooh.
Oh my! 385 did not want to be outdone by Fuse, as he himself tried to put that one down in a tight angle. What a communication by Fuse, and Ahmed is out there playing bumper cars, clears the defender, and you know what? That's 100% a team play there. Did Ahmed get the assist for that? No. But that was well deserved. He should have. 4 goals for Spooks and 1 for Fused off a double tap. This has been an amazing turnaround for Scorch.
Yeah, it has been. What a game they've had. And you said at the start, Ahmed's playing his own little game of demos, and wow, that was close, but not to be. But yeah, he's done it really well, and it's finally been shown as a contribution, my English is failing me, and there's another one.
It is.
Goal number 5, Scorch absolutely scoring for fun.
So we saw 385 in last game have over 800, I think it was 802 points. Here we see Spooks with 751, but more importantly, Fuse is right up there with him with 678, because in the first game, while 385 had 800 points, his next closest player was Josh with around 400. So we can see that Spooks and Fuse are finding each other as a dynamic duo, being a lot more dangerous than Josh and 385 were in the first game. But now they both have had a look-see. Both teams have won 1 game. Now we're going to see the turn. Who's going to make the difference? Is Carbo going to respond back, or is Scorch going to run away with it? Now they have the momentum.
Yeah, that is true. Well, very, very interesting comments from 385. I'm sure you won't stream that. Yeah, the copium from Carbo is real. Let me just say that. Spooks, absolute demon this game. 5 out of 6 goals for him. That is incredible. And well, Fuse got 5 assists. You're just not beating that as a team. And Ahmed was playing bumper cars. So they've clearly found their rhythm, and Carbo just weren't able to bring anything back in this game. But as you said, very interesting. Both teams have ran away with 1 game, but now we're seeing probably the most important game of the series.
Yeah, 385 really got shut down. I don't know if Ahmed bumped 385 or just the whole team of Scorch was able to keep the ball away from 385. He was making a mess of the field in the first game. They've responded quite well. So we're going to see how this next game plays. I'm still going for Team Scorch here. They're my underdog, and they just showed us in this game too why they're not to be counted out.
Yeah, absolutely. You never count out an underdog story. It's always good to see on the RSC streams as well as we get underway with game number 3, the game I've called the most crucial in the series. It'll probably set the tone more than anything, as Ahmed looks to be playing Rocket League again, and he is playing Rocket League again. He's found the first goal of the game, and questionable defending there.
Just an unfortunate touch, and Ahmed got a great shot on there, but it looked like he had help from his teammate who went in there to interfere with the last defender. I think that was Cube. So, hats off again to Scorch. Maybe they find the secret sauce, which is to play a little bit more of a physical game. That shot is on. That shot is in. It's a 0-0 game.
This brings back Game 1 vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Deja vu. And what a redirect from Ahmed, actually. That's a banger of an own goal, I can't lie. We saw some of them for Fail of the Week this week. Maybe that will end up on Fail of the Week, as now we see Cube look for his second credited goal.
No.
You're not going to want to be missing those. What a save to keep out Ahmed there. He was on the hunt for his second goal, but he's not going to find it. But now we see Josh, low boost, but he looks pushed forward as Spooks sets up Fused beautifully. Fused, can he get another double? No, he can't. Ahmed can't find the net either, as Carbo are doing enough at the minute.
385 gas is empty there, not able to get that ball anymore. They have shut him down, and it looks like Carbo is struggling to get out of their end, as Scorched has kept them at the midline. Spooks unfortunately missed that shot. Cube, wow, Fused barely got a touch on it, but it went right to Ahmed. Talk about team plays. These guys are really linking up. What happened to the first game where Carbo found each other, as there's a corner that just could not be beat. And I think once again, Carbo, it looks like they're just searching for boost. Everyone is slow. They're not really getting anywhere. They're not really getting up. There's a bump by Spooks to keep the last defender out. And what a shot by Fuse to make that on target.
I think being an RLCS analyst is Spooks, he would have known this team is very much boost dependent for their plays. We've seen that in game 2 and 3, where they've held them on low boost and they've panicked. They've panicked a lot more than they normally would, as Spooks looks to beat Josh, but he's not going to, as Ahmad finds the ball middle, actually. Finds Fused as well, and that's off the crossbar. The best goalkeeper in the game, according to Liquid. And I would half agree with that in that scenario.
I will also like to point out, again, kudos to Ahmed on that last goal. He just railed Josh in the net. There's another bump by Spooks, not able to let this mechanical team of Scorch play their game. They're just getting bullied and physical. No one is able to touch the ball. There's a demo. Is somebody listening to broadcast on the team? What is going on? This is fantastic. Scorch is trying to run away with it, and the heat is on.
Yeah, it is. As Fused now looking to pop it to the backboard. But Josh, he has found his sense in this game as he's looking to push it further forward. As Spooks now, good pinch actually, that will relieve a bit of pressure. But Cube right on it as the passing plays again, potentially catching them out. Not going to yet, but what passing, oh my god, off the top corner. But the passing plays working well for both teams, and this is an empty net that Fused is going to put it onto the crossbar. I'm mentioning the crossbar, I feel like, after every play.
Yeah, I told you, man. It's the unbeatable defender. You hit that, it's never going in the net. You can't beat it. Ahmed is slotting them in at the net. There is shot after shot coming at Carbo. Maybe not all of them are registered, but every one of them is dangerous. There's a demo. Fuse has taken Cube out of the play. Spooks is ready to receive the ball. Ahmed is cycling all the way back, and Fused is trying to spot that ball. Unfortunately, it has now gone into Scorch's end, and here's a dangerous ball that Josh was not able to read. There's the demos going the other way now. Cube has a little bit of boost. He's going to take a run across the goal line, and 385 tries to put in a sharp angle. But for the last, I'm going to say 3 to 4 minutes, this has been Scorch's game, as there is a diving bump into the corner, but hopefully it hasn't put them out. What a save by Fuse. He collects it into the corner. A misplay. Ahmed tried to turn on the ball, and now here we are in a dangerous situation. Crossbar wins again. If you're Carbo and you're watching this replay, you're going to be really mad at yourself at all those balls that hit the crossbar. Unfortunate that you just weren't able to slot all those in. Spooks is chasing his man all the way into the defending zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carbo have been more worried about trying to get the ball out for the last 3 minutes, and when they finally done it, the crossbar seems to be their worst enemy here. But can they find the goal with 30 seconds left as we see Ahmed put it onto the back? Well, this is dangerous. Fuse beats it, and that's a post. Spooks is going to beat Cuba Cube, and surely the nail is in the coffin. It's 3-1, 30 seconds left. We haven't seen much from Carbo this game, but we've seen a lot from Scorch. 12 shots, 3 finding the net, and well, they need a very quick turnaround.
Carbo hasn't been alive long enough to do anything on the field, let's be honest here.
True, yeah. And there's 4.
Spooks just about took out another player there, but it didn't matter as Fuse gets a great look at this ball and does not miss. 385 has missed. So I'm starting to wonder, has Scorch rattled Carbo's confidence? Are they afraid to approach the ball? Are they afraid to try and do something with it because they've just been knocked every time?
Yeah, I don't know, but Scorch, as soon as they build a lead, they start running away with it. Now that's a pinch. It goes down to the middle. 385 booms it clear. And to think, this Scorch team has 6 wins combined, and us across 24 games. They're going to pick up 2 here. And wow, that is a miss. And this Carbo team, they certainly look rattled.
You know, maybe Scorch has found their stride as a little bit of a bruiser team. Couldn't even get the consolation goal. Unfortunate for Carbo. But Scorch looking to be the stronger team on the field here at the end of Game 3. Again, 639 points for Fused. A big man on the field. 385 and Josh, a little bit quiet. Only 1 goal, and it was from Cube and a long-distance shot and an own goal by Ahmed. So what's the response from Carbo? Either they got to figure out how to do better boost management or just get out of the way from these demo chases.
And I think avoid the crossbar. I think that might also help. They had 8 shots and only 5 of them were saved. So that means there's another 2 or 3 that have just gone astray. But I mean, Scorch have had a lot more, but they come out as game winners. So I'm sure they don't care how many goals they've scored, whether it be 2 or 7 or even 4. They've won the game. They will get credit for that. And going into the last game, this is crucial for Carbo that they at least salvage a drawback to look to push towards that top 3.
Some of the chat is starting to ask to get a bump counter or a demo. I would agree. I'd always like to see that stat. I know it's buried within the meta. I'd love to see it being pulled out, but man, I feel like that's been the difference maker and the crossbar. So hopefully in that last minute, Carbo has taken a deep breath and they're going to dial in their shots, get them a little bit more crossbar down and in as opposed to crossbar and out.
Exactly. I'm sure we all would love a good crossbar and in shot, but as I much know, that doesn't happen very often. But we're underway with game number 4, with Scorch looking to take a 3-1 win, and Carbo looking to salvage what they would have wanted not to have been a draw, but salvaging what looks like a very hard-fought draw here. And I'd say the way games 2 and 3 are gone, it looks Scorch's way, but the demo's coming out. Carbo will take the lead, and well, I think it's the first time they've had a lead since game number 1.
Oh, 385. That one has just tasted so sweet. To take out Ahmed, he has been a thorn in their side in those last 2 games. And 385 just removed him from the playing field and is able to collect the ball and get the goal. There has to be a bittersweet sense of satisfaction in that goal. Oh, Fuse got an open look there. I think it's going to go all the way. Talking about bittersweet, that was short-lived, and unfortunately within 29 seconds it's a tie game. Fuse just about got demoed, and that would have changed the whole flavor of what just happened.
I'll say there's the consequences of going for a demo and not getting it. It's you're left awkward enough that your team thinks you're going to get the demo, that they push up field further, and that's just past it midfield, and Cube is forced to his acrobatics to save the game. That's the one we haven't really brought up this game. We've talked about, I think, everyone else on the field, but Cube, he's done his own little thing this game, and what a pass from him into the midfield. But Josh only finding Ahmad in net, as now we see 385 clear it away. Spooks, though, waiting very patiently. If 385 does side flip, though, as Spooks continuing now on the ball. More bumps even being looked at, as more team players are coming out, and well, there's one defender. Surely there's only one scenario. It was not a bump. it was in fact a solo play, which I haven't seen at all from Scorch this game.
No, there hasn't been a whole lot of solo plays, but there has been so much disruption by both teams, just making the players question whether or not they need to be going for the ball to either control it or throw it away. There hasn't been any opportunity to make a whole lot of mechanical plays with this. The ball has been moving constantly, whether it's going from one teammate to the other. It's been fantastic to see, but ultimately the pressure is on Carbo to make this game. If you're Scorched at this point, you have to be pretty impressed with your gameplay already. You felt like what you've stolen away from one game already from a team that's almost double your ranking. And speaking of stolen, Fused and Ahmed not able to figure out who's going to play the ball as 385 picks the pocket of both of them. Wasn't able to make it on the first shot, but gets a great read on the roll-up and makes no mistake to put that one in.
No, he doesn't make any mistake, and I don't think he can afford to make those mistakes. As we see Spooks now look to clear the ball away. He does. It's a good job he does, and he gets demoed for it. And now we see 385 clear it away. They really need this second game here to salvage some sort of a result. Here, Spooks looks to beat one here as 385. Good clear from him as Ahmad now. Can he get it middle or even send it to Fused up the other side? Well, Fused was up the other side, but he has been demoed. So he is no longer there as the ball drops down, but 385 will be there. Clear it away is now very awkward for Carbo as they have one defender back, and Josh manages to do well enough to take it away from two and start the attack. And open net maybe, but you cannot be missing those, Josh. I know we'll watch this back, so Josh, I'm very disappointed.
You know, to Josh's benefit there, he had 0 boost and he was trying to track that one down. 385 was waiting for Spooks to land to try and demo. Unfortunately, timed it a little bit wrong and didn't get that satisfactory pop. As we all see demo plays happen. Fuse throws it to Spooks, but there is 2 Carbo players up. This is dangerous as Josh throws it dangerously on net. That was nowhere near the crossbar. Josh is able to steal that boost to try and keep Scorch away from their end. And they are trying to collect themselves as Carbo now has the ball in their end, but doesn't have control. So we're about to see how this works out. Spooks gives the last defender a little bit of a nudge. Wasn't enough to make something out of it. Spooks is going to throw it back in the middle. Ahmed not up. Fuse going to throw it across in the middle. This is absolute pandemonium in the middle of the net without the ball going anywhere. 385 puts it on net. Fuse just got to make the save. Great job as this game is being held at 1 goal with just over 60 seconds left. Ahmed is racing ahead, trying to get a bump, and Spooks throws it into the middle of, I think that might have been a missed shot there. And we are playing a little bit of ping pong, but really, Carbo has done a great job of protecting their lead, but don't have a misstep because Scorch has been very dangerous to make them pay.
Yeah, they have, and as you said, it's been like ping pong, just throwing it back constantly. Both teams throwing it back to each other. As now we see 385 look for some sort of opportunity to increase their lead. A bit of security, maybe we see the ball push forward. There's one defender now. This is going to be very awkward for 385, but he does well enough to pass it to Josh, who is waiting in the corner. Good communication from them to pull out a result. As now we see Fused clear it away. We have one more attack, I think, left in this game. It's sent downfield by Fuse, but the Cube reacts as he sends it into the corner again. 5 seconds left, ball middle, Spooks last shot.
Oh boy!
It's the back of the net. 2-2 tied up, and Liquid, game on.
Ahmed ran across the field to go do his work, and he took one player out of the field. Josh was the only man left standing to try and defend that, and he was up early. Great job on Spooks to put that in. There's still 2 seconds, so I mean, we can't count this game out. It is now overtime. We are now down to the last and final goal of this series of 4.
Yeah, golden goal situation. One team gets a win out of this, or both teams take a draw. I'm sure the way Scorch are looking there, what a win, but the crossbar being Carbo's worst enemy. And what a flick from Spooks, actually, to get some pressure now. As Spooks looks to challenge again, 385. Musty flick, very dangerous. But Fused was never under any pressure. He never looked under any pressure in there, and it's still 2-2. 30 seconds gone. It could be over, but oh my god, it's bounced across the net. Never mind. I'm sure they're a lot more panicked than I am. I'm just sat here nervous for both teams at this point.
Oh man. So in hockey, anyone a fan of hockey, there's something called finishing your check. So if the person gets past you and you lose the puck or the ball in this case, you finish your check. You hit the person out of the way. And I have been watching, and just with so much delight, Scorch, when they're the first man on the ball and they lose it, it goes beyond them. They're there to try and finish the man, because that's the person that's going to be doing something in the play in just a few moments. There we see Spooks chasing down 385. He does a great job to get past him. Fused, great patience, because that could have been detrimental here. 385 throwing it up for Cubercube. Oh, sorry, Josh is over there. My mistake. Where'd Cubercube go? I thought he was over there. Cubercube is playing defender again, and Spooks and Fused are a little bit panicked as Fused no longer exists. Spooks is the only man, but Ahmed, who has been the bruiser, who has been the man of the hour, throws it on the net. Not able to get all the way there. He's going to collect his prize of the boost. And the ball goes back the other way. Spooks is throwing it into the corner where it is nice and safe. And Ahmed is dealing with two players. Spooks get a great read on that. Ahmed, are you going to play the ball or the boost? He plays the ball. Wisely done. Spooks up. Not able to get all the way. This has been dangerous both ways. But the last defender on both sides has done a great job. A weird pinch. Could this be Spooks and Fused? Oh, there was two different demos. That wasn't a double demo at all. What a shot by Spooks. A better save by Josh. The excitement is just dialing up. We're 2 minutes and a half in as we say Fused take a run through the net. Not able to get anyone. And Josh and 385 are linking up, but it turns into nothing. Spooks, no boost. Not the 50-50 he wanted. And my God, I gotta take a break.
Gotta take a breather. It's so intense as we see Josh looking to pass it back. Both teams unrelenting to give up, but also willing to push it in attack. As now double tap. Spooks looked for a redirect, but he's going to push it to the side now. As it's a booming clear from 385. It's going to find Ahmed now, who looks to beat one. He does beat one. Can he beat two? Oh, he fakes the second, and Spooks beats the last. Can he get the ball mid? He very much over mid, but it's straight back to Ahmed. He looks for a quick shot. What a save from Cubercube. That could be a series-saving save right there. I've just said save a lot of times. But as we see now, Ahmed in the corner. Oh, that's not the touch you would have wanted. Good save, though, from Fused to keep it alive. Both teams, shot after shot, save after save. Which defense breaks down first here? We'll only find out with time as Josh backflips away from the ball. He can't find the demo either, Fused. As Josh picks up his fifth save of the game. All Carbo players have at least 4 saves. Shows how much they've been pinned back as Spooks puts it onto the backboard, but Josh is gonna be there. And with 4 minutes gone in overtime, should going to win it, and well, I can hear Liquid just screaming with excitement after the demo.
What a shot and what a demo. That demo was instrumental. Fuse got to the ball, I think, before it touched the ground, so he, you can count that as a double tap. But what an angle to get one out of the corner. A great series by Scorch to just keep up the physical presence. Fused, after what was that, 8-9 minutes of gameplay, 802 points. Spook 601 and Ahmed 346. However, to my heart, Ahmed was the bigger player on the field. He got more demos and more bumps than anyone else. But what a fantastic lineup. Carbo, I don't think they should hang their head low at all. That was just exciting both ways. There was opportunities. Clearly the crossbar and the posts determined who was going to win that game because there were so many close calls. Inevitably, Scorch takes away that win in a 3-1 series.
Yeah, wow, what a series from Scorch. Something I absolutely didn't go into this series expecting. Something I don't think anyone in chat expected, unless you're Snowy. Don't worry, I've seen you supporting them all the way. As we see Spooks come into chat, GG's, let's go. What a play, what a showing he made. He was a massive danger man for their side, and it was absolutely brilliant to see them all perform so well in this series. And well, I wouldn't give Carbo any less credit. They played very well as well, but they were just outdone by Scorch in that series, and well, Scorch just could not find a way through. No, just Carbo couldn't find a way through.
I will say that it felt like the first game, Carbo played their game. They had control of the ball. They had boost. They had presence on the field. There was passing plays. 385 and Josh were finding each other. And then Scorch woke up. They found the chink in the armor was to take them out of the field. There was boost starving. There was demos. There was bumps. And all of a sudden, Carbo no longer had control of the game. The games were still somewhat close. There was goals on both sides, but you could really see how Carbo was shut down. They were not able to play the mechanical game they clearly wanted to play. Their dominance on the field was all but washed away by the physical presence of Scorch. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Scorch.
Yeah, Scorch did play a very physical game very well, and well, it paid off for them. Maybe we see that playstyle lift them up in the table from now on. So it'll be very interesting to see how far that the teams can push back. But for this series, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything we have. But don't be disappointed. We have another series on after this, which will be Crusaders versus Impulse in the Challenger tier. But for now, we're going to take about a 15-20 minute break, and we'll look forward to seeing you back on stream. So from us here at the desk, goodbye and have a good night.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. waiting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back along to our first stream, the final series of the first stream of RSC Week 4, RSC12. I'm Tom Dillon, finally on an RSC stream this season. It's only taken us 4 weeks and an absolute nightmare elsewhere to get this sorted. Finally, I'm here alongside Mal. I'm Tom Dillon, of course. Mal, expecting a nice little series here between Crusaders and Impulse.
Yeah, and I mean, you were saying it's your first time on the stream for the exact same reason that it's your first time. It's also my first time as an RSC. I think I was on the draw, but aside from that, this is my first time actually casting on RSC, I'm pretty sure. So it's a nice feeling, and yeah, it's looking to be a very solid matchup tonight between the two teams. I think you said Challenger, didn't you? So it's Fort Templar as a franchise versus Continuum. So I think it's Continuum. Oh, sorry, Momentum, not Continuum. That's their rival team. Same. I only think in rival, as everyone learnt from the draw. Yeah. What are you thinking at the moment, Tom?
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting game. We've got some predictions, stats and things coming up. I've predicted 2-2 here. I think this is the sort of series, mid-table clash, two teams fairly evenly matched. I think I could see this going and being a non-result, but I think you've gone a little bit more towards one of the two teams.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1 to. It's not Momentum. I keep forgetting the team names because I always think by franchise.
Impulse and Crusaders.
Impulse. That's the one. Yes. I think it's going to be a 3-1 overall win to Impulse. They're just performing better overall than they are the Fort Templar team here. So I think overall Crusaders going to lose a couple more games than Impulse will.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Well, if we talk about the statistics, it should be the team statistics first. And, these two teams, as I said, are relatively evenly matched. We've got Crusaders with 8 wins. That's playing 4 team wins. It's 8th versus 5th, by the way, in the standings. So one team pushing for those playoff spots and one team trying to hold off and stay in those playoff spots. To say it's been a troubled start to the season for the two of them probably is correct here, Mal. Neither side really getting going, but perhaps Impulse a little bit more successful than the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, not great for either. Impulse only at a 50% match win rate, or game win rate, I should say. It's not great. They've conceded skillfully. They're equal on their wins and losses and their goals for and against. So it's pretty consistent from them on that front, but they're going against a lower team here. And they definitely at least have the higher win percentage, which will hopefully give them some sort of an advantage. I think following this, we should have some player stats to see some very interesting stuff about the team or the players within those teams. Lots of games played for a few of these people. We can see S&M Peep, only 4 games played. I'm gonna guess that's a substitute. The goals really tell a story in that most of the players on the Impulse team, they score about 1 goal per game. Few of the players from the Crusaders team score only half a goal per game, so that might cause issues for them.
Yeah, well, I was in particular looking at Dreed for Crusaders, who's had 26 goals in his 28 games. It is really, with 41 saves, the statistic that stands out to me. He clearly is very prolific in defence, very staunch in his defence, I should say. It's a fairly similar stat, actually, for Lucas on the Impulse side. 24 games, 23 goals and 36 saves. He's looking equally as decent in his defence. But Mal, I think we're ready, having gone through our predictions, to get here onto the pitch.
I mean, the point making them wait any longer. We're already slightly delayed because of some issues from me and I think one of the teams not fully joining. But as we get everyone now into the game, they're all on the pitch. It is looking to be a very strong game.
So it's going to be Crusaders in the blue and Impulse in the orange, and it's Impulse who get the better of the kickoff and can have it inside of Crusaders' half. Here's a shot from Steo, I should say. Takes the shot, but it's cleared away here by Beeping Sheep. And eventually Crusaders are going to be able to clear their lines here out to midfield. Now a chance to perhaps attack. It's cleared away by Steo. And eventually, off of the baseline, cleared away downfield by Lucas.
And we see very early on, it seemed like the Impulse half doing a pretty solid job of keeping this ball not necessarily out of their half, but away from their net. But as I say that, Beeping Sheep trying to sneak one in. Follow-up isn't fully there, allowing a clear to get out. And if they can continue just counter-attacking well like they have been from this Impulse half, they could quite easily take a goal pretty early on in this game.
Rhodes is going downfield, looks to turtle this one forward. Eventually cleared away, and Steho can try and beat his man. Dreed gets the better of him. Only plays it forward to Louis though. And eventually cleared away by Beeping Sheep. There's a little bit of pressure here being created by this Impulse side as the ball bounces out, and Lucas can try and keep the attack alive. He's got a teammate for support. Louis puts it into the centre. Beeping Sheep clears it away. We've still only got the 2 shots in the game. That's a much better shot, and it's on net by Raids. Eventually hits the crossbar.
And it's, just such a strong showing from both teams so far as they finally get one in. And it's, I mean, what more could you want from the team in blue here?
Not much. They haven't really been attacking, have they, in this game? But they're able to get the first goal onto the board. And, well, I think that's just a perfect example of how to play on the back foot.
It's a pretty solid start here, though, as... I mean, the blue team, they didn't seem to start with any offense, really, there, but they've done a solid job so far. And if they can keep it up, I can see quite easily now. I mean, my prediction might be wrong, but still, I think Impulse are going to adapt pretty quickly here.
Across the face of goal it goes. Steho is going to try and take it down the right-hand side. Not able to get much onto the ball. There is a shot from Louis, and cleared away by Beeping Sheep. Down the left-hand side he attacks, but Lucas gets the better of him in a 50. Dreed clearing it away, though. Here the shot for Louis into Steho in the end. He takes a shot, and he's just saved away by Raids on the goal line. Steho keeps the attack alive, though, swooping back round to it. Miscontrols the ball and just about able to survive for the time being. The Crusaders, I say survive, they now attack down the other end. Beeping Sheep can't get to it. It's over the top of him and cleared away eventually by Lucas.
And it's like I keep saying, it just seems like the offense, I mean, it started out in favour of Impulse, but Crusaders, they have just been on fire for the second half of what has been played so far. Not necessarily the second half of the match, as there is still 2 minutes left. But if they can't break out of the orange half for Impulse here, I don't see any opportunity of them taking back this 1 goal that they have already lost. And just somehow, I don't see them winning at the moment.
Maybe not. It's been a good defensive performance from Crusaders at the moment. Here goes Lucas looking to go into the centre. He's not going to be able to find much with it, and Dreed has to clear it downfield for Raids on this right-hand side. Can he go into the centre? No, he can't. Steho is there, but Sheep now looking forward again. Raids plays it nicely into the centre. Dreed can't get there, and now a chance up the other end, surely to get level in the game. Impulse do exactly that, and it's Louis. Maybe a little bit of a whiff. It was certainly an overcommit. And Louis is able to tap it in from halfway across the pitch.
I was about to say, yeah, I mean, I said they weren't going to get much of a win or anything really if they couldn't get the offense going. They didn't necessarily get powerful pressuring offense there, but it was a clinical counter-attack to get them back. And now, in 20 left, we're all tied up. We need to see another attack from the Crusaders that is super dangerous, or at least a well-placed shot, as another shot nearly comes through, not enough to beat out the defence, and now it's just going back and forth, it feels like.
So, a minute to go, and we are all square. Impulse looking to go downfield here. Beeping Sheep is going to be able to sweep his line. It's Crusaders who actually are the, on paper, worst of these two teams, as we mentioned, sitting 8th in the conference. But you wouldn't think it, having looked at their performance so far. Playing very nicely indeed. 53% ball possession for the blue side. They're on the back foot here, though. Into the centre it goes, cleared away by Dreed. Raids now goes down the left-hand side. He's got a clear goal to aim at. Maybe Dreed takes a shot, and Deho is able to clear it away.
I think that is what is doing wonders for this Impulse half right now, is while they may not have been the best at stopping the pressure or even really countering back. They were doing a great job of defending, but Raid sneaks in another one to completely make my point wrong.
That's about as nice as it comes for Rays, and again they've played on the back foot so nicely indeed. That's only Raid's 15th goal of the season so far, and it's probably one of the more important ones as well in this game one. Getting a point onto the board, which when you're 8th is very important indeed. Here's Dree to close his game out. Louis tries to clear it away. They've got to get it back down the other half. It's buzzer beater territory now as the buzzer does go. Stiho still in possession of the ball, but as Beeping Sheep gets to it, it looks like they will just spike this and call it a day for game one, which Crusaders win not very comfortably, but they played very well.
I mean, you say not very comfortably. I think if they don't open themselves up for that counter-attack that did slip through from Louis there, I think that was a pretty solid win for them all around. They had the pressure, maybe didn't have the shots, but they didn't really need the shots when they could have taken them, and that kind of passive style of play kind of helped them not lose too many offenses or just leave them open for that counter-attack, except for the one that did go through. But I mean, heading into this next game, what does Impulse need to do to improve here?
I don't really know. I think Crusaders are just defending very well. I mean, 4 shots, only one of them going in. Maybe they just need to put them on net more, because it's, I mean, 1 from 4 is not a great is not a great record. But then Crusaders weren't shooting with much greater percentage, were they?
No, I mean, I don't know. Heading into this, I think, what was it, 30%-ish average shooting percentage for both teams. So they are shooting about where we expected them to with their shooting percentages. But I still think Impulse maybe not play faster, because playing faster as a whole isn't a great way to describe it. They definitely need to play their plays with a bit more urgency and maybe not just push so aggressively when they do push, I think.
So we've had a slight change. Impulse hoping now playing in what Potter claims is pink, but I claim is red.
That's pink.
Changed our colours around now. I think it's definitely red. Crusaders in the blue then, and Impulse now in the red. But that's a contentious issue. That's a nice demo on the line, and surely Louis is going to tap it into an open net, and he does. A nice demo play.
I mean, pink or red, whatever you call it, it's working for this Impulse team right now, as they seem like a different team already. They've taken 1 shot, scored 1 goal. Granted, it might have just been a mistake, so we can't fully say either team is performing majorly different. What it is a good start for the Impulse team.
He goes Beeping Sheep downfield, gets the beating of his man, does very well to beat his man, and now into Dreed it goes, into the centre, and Lucas is able to clear it away. Here's Raid on the baseline. Goes forward over the top of 1 into centre field, and now Dreed takes a shot, but it's slightly wide of the net. Beeping Sheep gets up to it, looks to pass it off of the ceiling. And eventually downfield it goes. It's an overcommit. It was a very good turn downfield. And Dreed is able to clear his lines.
And yeah, I think I'm going to assume that wasn't the most intentional touch, because there wasn't anyone to fully receive the follow-up from it, from the now pink half. I can't call them the orange half anymore. That's the only confusing thing. But from this pink attack and the Impulse players, one of them getting murdered there by a very well-placed demo, almost opening it up. I think if they can just fill up some of the patches that seem to be coming through their rotations, it will be not unbeatable for the Crusaders half, but definitely a formidable opponent to face against.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think they can do differently to turn it around, Mal?
I think it's the passing plays. I think, at least, especially at the challenger level, maybe not so much in master, but it still works wonders in the master tiers. But I think at the challenger level, if you can either just do simple plays well or pass to your teammates consistently, it beats out a lot of defenders very easily. But a bit of an open ball being left there, and I don't know, it feels like they aren't so much pressuring smart as well, neither team, as quite a few of these balls, like I said, being left open and just nobody really coming up to finish them. But what does finish there is a beautiful touch from Beeping Sheep to equalise up the game.
And there you go. It's got its way through Lucas, who was a little bit unsighted by it. And Crusaders hit back as they had to in the previous game. Well, actually, they didn't have to hit back in the previous game. They were leading, but again, they've been playing on the back foot quite a lot today. Dreed is going to dummy one, looks to pinch this off the floor across field into Raids, which he's going to do absolutely perfectly. Raids gets an awkward touch on it, but it's going to be a read off of the side wall, and eventually it's just wide of the post. Here goes Lucas now. Can he go into the centre? No, he can't. Dreed will clear it away. Now down the left-hand side into the centre he goes. It's going to bounce unfavourably over the corner for Beeping Sheep, and it's going to be an impulse attack up the other end, which might just fall nicely into the centre here. Having to clear it away is Beeping Sheep. Dreed has to take it off of him. And it's a nervy game.
I think it is just that lack of pushing. I know I said not to go too aggressive from the impulse half here, but right now they just aren't pushing, and it's letting shots like that from Raids go in. And my prediction of 3-1, granted there's only 1 minute and 54 seconds left here, isn't looking like it's going to be that great of a prediction, as now it's just, yeah, they aren't pushing their balls enough to really make any mistakes come from the blue half.
Well, Beeping Sheep looking to go into the centre. He not able to find the teammate Dreed. Steho down the line, goes into Lucas.
Oh.
Lucas takes the shot, and that is a very tidy passing play to square the game once again for Impulse.
I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but what I did say was that they needed to get some passes going in, and as soon as they pass it, they find the easy opening in the net, and it just works so well. I don't know how much you pass or get passed to in your games, Tom, but I'm sure you've seen a similar thing happen.
No, I'm a platinum, so typically
you know what? Perfect
just
passing.
hit it and hope. But it goes Beeping Sheep off the left-hand side, goes into the centre. Although I say that, my friend is Diamond, so I end up in Diamond lobbies, which aren't much better, I'll admit. It goes Steho. He won't get round to it, actually. Louis has to take it off of him. Now Steho goes downfield, looking for Lucas again. It's Dreed who takes a shot that might just sneak its way in. He's had to get there. He does. Forgot his name for a second. It's Raids. And, well, waited on it. Very, very sensible play. Could have attacked it the second it got off, but he waited for it.
And I mean, Louis caught off guard with that waiting. He maybe thought the shot was going to come in fast, tried to jump for it fast, and because of that, now have back that 1-goal lead, and is going very back and forth this game. Seems like both teams have figured out what they need to do, but either team really happy to push super heavily when one team decides to. It seems like that's when they're getting those goals and those openings. But a beautiful shot there from Lucas as I'm saying that. Not sure how much of a pass it was, as Louis, he comes off that corner and it goes soaring over both of the defenders. Lucas perfectly receiving it and slamming it in to equalise up with 42 seconds left.
Maybe in overtime. I think one of these 4 games is bound to go to overtime. Here goes Steho. Can he find a winner? Surely be a winner with 40 seconds to go. Into Lucas. Lucas can't get the better of Beeping Sheep, who without a lot of boost has to chase down this ball. Does very well. Gets the beating of Louis completely, but a good demo on Dreed is going to take the pace out of the attack unless Raids can do anything about it. He can't. Here goes Beeping Sheep then. Out to the left-hand side. Eventually Lucas clears it downfield. A demo on Dreed will give Lucas a little bit of a chance to attack here. Teammate in the centre is Louis. Can Louis get a shot off? He can't. And with 10 seconds to go, it's got to be last chance saloon here into the centre. Shot from Beeping Sheep. Maybe it might just be an overtime that this game heads to. Last attack potentially just falls on deaf ears, or maybe on the buzzer. Lucas having to clear it downfield. Raids spikes it, and we've got overtime, Mal.
I was going to say, yeah, if you were Raids in that position, you didn't really want to keep that ball up. It was heading straight towards your own net. We definitely did the smart move dropping it, but I don't think it's going to matter too much, as a beautiful save on the line stops it from going out of this overtime only 10 seconds in. Passing plays from this Impulse half, it's like they're listening to the cast, because it seems like every single strong opportunity they've taken this game has been because of a pass, but it's still dangerously close in front of the pink net now, just swapping side to side, and it is going to be scored by Dreed to get them 2-0 up right now. 30 seconds into an overtime.
This is a massive, massive series to win for Crusaders. It has to be said, because you look at where they are, 8th in the table. Suddenly they win this and they find themselves just that little bit closer to those playoffs. Those playoffs, exactly what we're after. And well, you know, they get 4 here. They actually are close. They're on 12s. They'd be 2 points behind the playoffs. I think they're playing remarkably well, and I think this is one of those series that will get you into those playoffs later on in the season.
Yeah, and I mean, to really illustrate how well they're doing, especially as you've been saying on their defense, and with some incredible saves coming out from both Beeping Sheep and Raids, they got 2 saves, which doesn't sound like a lot, but there were 5 shots taken by the Impulse half. 3 of them went in, the other 2 were saved, so it's looking like, at least in that last game, any shot that wasn't stopped by a defender just went into their net. So it's just showing how the defender is for both of these teams, as happening for the other half, but it's still a majority of the shots that didn't go in were saved. And defense is often something that can get quite a bit overlooked, I think, as players kind of find it a bit more boring when they don't get all those super strong shot opportunities or don't get to be first man. But third man, especially the defender position, such an important role for every team in Rocket League.
And well, over to Sovereign Heights we go, and for game 3 of 4, kickoff is going to be won by Crusaders, and Raids is able to attack very quickly indeed. No one on the goal line. It's going to be Dreed who takes a shot and cleared away by Stio in the end. Stio on the right hand side, and no, not quite able to do anything with it on this occasion. Lucas now downfield, cleared away once more. Here's Stio. Can he take a shot on net? He can. Dreed is going to clear it away. Lucas now attacking end to end at the moment. That's a good bump. It's going to stop the attack up the other end. Beeping Sheep not able to do anything with it, but that is a scrappy, frenetic start.
Yeah, and couple of team bumps I see occasionally appearing on these halves, which is kind of expected at Challenger, as it is, not to call it a bad level, but it is one of the lower levels within RSC. So it really shows sometimes when you get those miscommunications that you don't usually see at master level. But what doesn't require communication looking like it is the amount of times they're hitting the post and crossbar here, as it just keeps slamming on. A perfect defender for the blue half, probably the bane of the pink half right now. And if they can get some attacks going from Raids here, or even just anyone from the Crusaders, it could break them a lead early.
Louis is going to try and clear this away. A shot comes in out to the far post, and eventually Louis has to get round to it. Into Raids it goes. Lucas trying to clear it away at the front post is Beeping Sheep. Stio gets demoed. A huge chance to go in from Dreed, and he turned the car around so perfectly there. Just watch this as there he goes, arriving in and beating that man at the near post.
Yeah, it's that rolling ball. It's just so dangerous, and it's such a hard thing to defend for any player on the field, as it can just roll up and over, and your defense is completely caught off guard, as is the defense just there. No one ready to really stop that shot from coming in. What happened there?
Raids puts Crusaders in perfect control of the series, and a win here, obviously they've then won the series. The sweep is still 1 game away, and I'm sure the sweep would be something that they're well and truly after here, but to get even 3 on the board is certainly an ideal situation. 3 minutes to go as well. They've run some time on the clock. I don't know if you experience this, Mal, but I sometimes think if you get a 2-goal lead into the first minute, it's almost a dangerous one to have. But once you get that 2-goal lead around the 3-minute mark, you can start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit and start to play a little bit more defensively, which I think is a luxury that they might enjoy. Not here, though, as they still attack Crusaders. This is a good bump on Dreed. Beeping Sheep will clear it away.
And I mean, you were saying about 2-goal lead. As I say quite often when I see a 2-goal lead, every team prefers a 2-goal lead at 15 seconds rather than a 2-goal lead at 4 minutes, because there is just, as you said, so much time for them to come back. And luckily for this Crusader half, Impulse doesn't seem to be making any of the shots that they need to to get it back in as another pass comes middle. It's a shot, but it's a good goal line save from Lucas to keep it out. And they've got 2 minutes left. They don't really need these attacks. It's helpful for sure, but I think you were right in saying they should just maybe not take their foot off the gas, but just defend a bit more, because they've shown they can do it, and it makes it so much easier than accidentally overcommitting and conceding.
His beeping sheep looks to go over the top, and my word, that would be a fine goal, and he's able to tap it in. Just gets the beating of the man inside of centre field. It was Stiho challenging him to it, catches the man Lucas napping on the line. And I used the word for their passing play in the last game, but that was tidy.
And I mean, I kind of ate my own words there, let's be honest, because it wasn't exactly a a great time for him to score after I said you don't need to attack anymore, showing that they really don't care, and making me look even worse by doubling their lead perfectly there. And what can they do to stop them? They've just got complete control of this field right now, it feels like.
They do. They've only got 49% ball possession, though, so Impulse are actually well and truly into the game. It's also remarkable. In fact, man, it's remarkably even on paper. It's 6 shots to 5. I do love this new little tool of analysis software that someone released. It's very useful. But anyway, yeah, it's actually remarkably close. Here they finally have to defend, but down the field it goes. Louis clears it away. But yeah, they're just taking their opportunities, and Crusaders look in complete control. This one, though, might just go up the other end. Here's Louis, has got Dree to beat. Dree does very well on the defence. Stiho takes a shot, though, and Stiho's going to sneak one in, and finally, Impulse get a foot back in the door.
And I think it is those kind of, not necessarily the cutting in shots as Stiho comes in from the side, but just the shots that you look like you're not in the position for, and then you fly in and absolutely nail it, like we just witnessed Stiho doing. And if they can get more shots like that coming into this next game, because I think the minute left, 3 goals to get back is going to be a bit of a task for them to go for. So I think they should probably look for this final goal, or this final game, just to try and take it back. And if they play like they did for those 20 or so seconds where they just scored then, they definitely stand a very solid chance of at least taking one here.
Reed is going to go downfield, 50 seconds to go. Impulse need to find something very, very quickly indeed to even save a chance of a draw in this series. Louis not able to get there. Dreed is on the left-hand side into Beeping Sheep. He goes. Beeping Sheep waits just perhaps a little bit too long to get the shot off. Stiho is a bit short in possession, though. Dreed now into the centre. Beeping Sheep gets there. Raids gets bumped. And that's just going to allow Lucas the space to clear it away. He makes a bit of a hash of it. But Stiho eventually is able to get it downfield. Too little, too late, though. We have 20 seconds to go. The outcome of this game is not really a question.
And I mean, you said about maybe the clear from Lucas there lacking. I think it's because what the Crusaders half is showing really well. If you look, when they don't need to get the goals, a beautiful goal from Louis there with 2 seconds left. Like you said, too little, too late. But yeah, when the Crusaders half have these goals, just keep sending lofty high balls, and when you do that, the opponents not necessarily have to aerial for them, but they want to, and that wastes boost and time. And when you've got a minute to score 3 goals, what you don't want your opponents to do is waste your boost and time. But as I've said, Crusaders doing a great job of it. Unless there's another goal coming out from either team here, it is going to be a 4-2 win in game number 3 here. A ball up high. Greed is up. He's going to let it drop. Lucas doesn't want to risk it. And that is going to be 3-0 so far in this 4-game series to Crusaders.
Well, Fort Templar are, if you'll excuse the very shameless pun, holding Fort very nicely. 4-2 in that game. 3-0 in the series. A sweep, as we said, would do their playoff chances. Early season, we can't really talk about playoff chances just yet, but I suppose they'll be thinking about it. It would do their playoff chances a beautiful favour, though, wouldn't it? Having played 28 games, obviously it'll be 32 after this. Pretty much bang on the halfway mark of the season. They'll be very, very happy.
I mean, like we said before when we were looking at the stats, they came in 8th place. They were 8-20. The end of this, at worst, they're going to be 11-21. That is a pretty major mashup on what they had beforehand. And hopefully for them heading into this next game, if they can get the next one, it's going to be 12-20, and that is getting much closer to what Impulse had coming into this at 14-14. They're likely to be leaving at the moment 14-18, which is a frankly massive drop in terms of games won and lost for them.
And you, of course, as we head over to bet with Bark, you don't want to be taking these games against teams that you should be beating and getting swept in them. You want to at least pick up a point. You know, even if you're going to lose a game, you want to, or lose a series, you want to pick up a point from it. And I think that will be a massive disappointment if Impulse aren't able to do it. But we're underway here. It'll be Lucas who takes it downfield. Dreed takes an awkward touch. Cleared away by Peep, who is a substitute, if I'm not mistaken. I don't recall him. I think he's coming, I don't know who he's coming for, but...
Raids, I believe.
Yeah, it is Raids, indeed. And downfield he goes. You know, Raids was the first person I had on my mind, and I thought, is Raids on their side?
the thing that you've got to ask, that's the thing, because Raids, from what I was seeing in these previous games, Raids has been frankly on point for both defense and offense for the Crusaders half. So if there is ever an opportunity for Impulse to even think about taking a game in a series that's been going frankly very badly for them, is the opportunity when they sub in a new player who likely isn't warmed up. He isn't as good as the player that subbed out potentially, and it's the perfect time to strike and the perfect time to get your pressure on, and they are doing exactly that, but still a minute in with no goals to their name.
But on the same hand of that, he's got to get his games in, and well, better off doing it in a series you've already won than any other point in the season. He's only played 4 at the moment as Peep, and he's actually got pretty good stats as well. 4 goals, 2 assists and 3 saves from his 4 games. That is a shot on net that's cleared away by Louis. Louis attacks downfield, now looks to go into the centre. Here goes Stiho, takes a shot, and it's cleared away by Dreed.
It's beautiful goal line defending. I mean, the shot was down so fast and Dreed was there for it. There's almost an opening there. Dreed not fast enough. And I think this is what gives Crusaders just the edge, that they are reading the play ahead of when it's happening, whereas it seems like maybe the Impulse half seem to be just going for the play as it's happening to them, meaning that a lot of the times you see from Louis there, slightly late on the jump, causing the ball to go wide to the corner rather than downfield. And touches like that, they don't do a lot to let a goal in, but as they build up, it starts to weaken down your defence and put you out of position and out of boost. And I think that's what's been happening so far.
And Lucas here isn't able to find a teammate. It does eventually meander its way to Stiho. That being said, he gets a bump on the goal line. Might give Louis a chance here. 2.5 minutes, longest distance without a goal in this series so far. Off the corner it goes. Dreed now looks to take a shot, but again it's cleared away. Here goes Stiho. It's going to be Peep who gets that off of the left-hand side wall it goes. Now Lucas getting onto the ball. Out of centre field he goes. No doing for either side just yet. Dreed takes a shot. That being said, it's off of the crossbar once again.
And it's more of those lofty high hits. They work perfectly for taking people out of position, as we see Louis was scrambling on the backboard there, barely able to get it and using up a lot of his boost. A slight mistake luckily works out perfectly for the blue half as they continue their attack downfield and miss. Had there have been someone going for it, it might have been a goal. There wasn't, and it's almost turned into a strong counter-attack. A good clear from Dreed, gets it just away, but it's still heading slowly into that blue net. Not what you want to see as a third man push slightly too early.
No, definitely not. And it was, I'm not going to say Peep's, well, it probably was Peep's mistake, wasn't it? And well, that would be frustrating as a substitute coming in and making a mistake that ultimately is, well, so far costing the team the game. Here goes Beeping Sheep. He's going to go off of the corner into the centre, maybe looping over the top. It will, my word. That is awkward.
Yeah, I was about to say, after that mistake from Peep, I was like, yeah, Crusaders, I think they're going to take this game. It's going to be a 1-0 win. But then, the mistake like that is exactly what you don't want. You've already lost 3 games and are on the verge of not necessarily losing the 4th, but having an incredibly close game in the 4th. So now you've suddenly got to find another goal after struggling to find one for 2.5 minutes.
That might just be the goal. It will be. It's Neo. It's such a cliche, but you can have such a tight Rocket League game, and the second the ball gets reset, just opens up the play and the floodgates open, and you see 3 goals in the space of a minute.
I mean, quite a few teams seem to work not necessarily off kick-off goals, but goals coming within 30 seconds or so of the kickoff, and after that, it's basically just everyone's stalemate. So I think those first 30 seconds or so after a kickoff where you get pressure like we're seeing this blue half having, it's such a fundamentally important part of the game. And if they do it wrong, get stuck in a stalemate like it's looking like it could become here, it then becomes a game of attrition until either the time runs out or someone makes a mistake.
Well, we'll see whether it continues to be attritional. Is Impulse looking to save something from this game? 2-1 up with 30 seconds to go. Here's Louis, gets the better of him, just beeping sheep into the centre it goes. Peep takes a shot, but Steho with a very, very good save. Now down the left-hand side he goes, but Dreed is able to beat him to it. Lucas gets around eventually. Now into the centre. Can Lucas get there? He can. It's a good demo as well on Dreed that just takes the pressure off. 10 seconds to go. Looks like Impulse are going to get the victory here. Here goes Louis downfield. Dreed clearing it away. Last chance, really, for Crusaders to save the sweep. He puts it up into the air. Steho is there to challenge. It's going to get the ball just before the man can get to it. An Impulse save something from the series, but at the end of the day, it's Crusaders who win the day.
I was about to say, yeah, as much as Impulse they took that last game, I wouldn't really call that a major win for them in that last game. It felt much more of a scrappy, we're going to take whatever we get kind of situation, rather than a we're making the opponents misrotate and miscommunicate, stuff like that. It just felt like they purely won that off the fact that someone made a mistake at a bad time, rather than them doing anything super impressive. But on the other hand, either way, it was such a close series in all but I think one of those games that both teams, aside from how scrappy it was, performed incredibly.
Yes, and Crusaders, I think, definitely performing better. And again, a cliche I like to use at this stage of the season is that it's those games when you're sort of battling to hope you get into the playoffs. It's the games against those teams that are right around you that you've got to win. And, they've gone and done it, and they've done it quite emphatically. I think they would have liked the sweep, but 3-1 at the end of the day in this sort of situation is never bad.
Does it count the 3-1 prediction if I got the teams the wrong way round, or is that not allowed at all?
I think you might get a point on our little prediction tracker. Maybe. I don't know.
We'd love to see. Yes. Yeah, I don't know how it works either.
Anyway, that will do it from us. That will do it from RSC for the first stream of Week Play. Our next stream, if I'm not mistaken, should be on Friday night. It will it'll be Thursday 1st of June. I'm not on that one. That's what I am on that one. I'm on the 7 o'clock. That confused me slightly. There you go. So we'll be back tomorrow then. I will be with Morris Guy first up for Alpha versus Phoenix, and there'll be a couple of other games after that. Then after that it's Sunday. But for tonight, we thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you all later. Good night.
Bye.